It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. Across from me on the board, he's back. He's in the building. He's a new man. His name is CB. And to my left is the man you just heard doing a phenomenal update, host of the Buckeye Show. You hear him every night here on The Fan starting at 6 o'clock. It is the one and only Tim Hall. Timmy Hall in for AR today. Timmy, how you feeling, man?
Ice, baby. When was the last time we did a show together?
It's been a long time.
You know, I can remember doing a couple of pregame tilts with you.
Yeah.
When DeVere had some family issues, I popped over there, got on the headset with you, but I don't remember the last time I was on this fine program with you.
It's been some years. I think it's been some years, it's been way too long. But that's kind of the beauty of the summer schedule. Guys are taking PTO.
It's crazy.
Using their PTO. Football's creeping up on us. And then you got to do some other things, you know, amongst the roster. Other guys got to pick up the slack elsewhere, and you're here to do that today for AR. So it's good to see you, man.
And it's at a point now where if I want to, I can basically pop myself on a show.
Okay.
If the host is okay with it.
By the way,
if I run it by you and you don't hate it.
There's a slight flex in there, CB.
I'm just saying.
I can do what I want around here.
I'm just saying.
I'm not mad at it, Tim Hall. I'm not mad at it. Folks, welcome in. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's good to be back. I had a couple days off thanks to the guys that filled in for me. Here's the menu for today. 12:33, we're going to talk to Andy Backstrom. He covers Ohio State football for Lettermen Row. 1:33, if you missed Timmy's update, he had some nuggets in there about the Blue Jackets. They had some activity going on this weekend. So Brian Hedger from the Dispatch, he will cook with us at 1:33. And then at 2:33, we'll round out the show with Jeff Lloyd, Locked On Browns, to talk all things Browns training camp. Just a quick reminder, if you ever miss anything from the show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Our interviews, everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting for you. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast as well. Timmy, we got to give the floor to CB because, like I mentioned off the top,
I know
CB came back a new man.
Yeah.
CB went out to King's Landing and bent the knee. CB, congratulations, my man. How you feeling? Let the folks know what you've been doing, big dog.
Yeah, so I spent the last, it was like 8 or 9 days out in the Montana, Idaho, Wyoming region, visiting Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks. By the way, if you've never been, you're the hiker type, great places to go. I recommend it for everyone. Preferably if your families have your kids a little bit older. I saw some families with some young kids and the hikes were just not going well for them. So maybe rethink that. But no, it was great. It was a great opportunity. I mean, when you can propose in front of a mountain range, I mean, you have to take the opportunity. I was able to hire some freelance photographers out in the area. So they really captured the scene very well, in my opinion. Over 300 photos to go through, so we're still in the process of that. But no, it was great. I can't thank everyone enough who was involved, who kept it a secret. I know you two knew this before I went out there, so thank you again for keeping that quiet. And it was a great opportunity, and like I said to you guys before the show, the weight off your shoulders of the pressure of it is now gone, and it feels great.
I'm so happy for you, man.
It's awesome, man.
I'm proud of you. That is really cool. I saw the pictures you posted on Instagram. They were absolutely beautiful. For those that are interested in seeing those pictures, CB, let them know where they can follow you on the gram.
Yeah, so it's just my first and last name. Actually, I probably need to make myself public for you to do that, but it is Colin Behringer.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's cool.
You're not public? On the gram?
He's a private guy.
No, I mean, typically
You're a man of the people. You're in the media. You're Eva Bald Colin, for God's sakes.
I mean, you're talking me into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to do it. Now, CB, I want to know, first of all, he actually sent me, he felt he needed to send me of all people, a text to make sure that I didn't discuss any of these happenings on the air. Like I would do something like that.
To be fair.
Knowing that you've got, family and friends that are listening to the shows here and there. I was never going to do that. Come on.
To be fair, I told guys like Matty Ice in person. I forgot to say that to you in person, so I made sure to get the message out.
He just gave it to you in a different form, that's all.
I'm going to blow up your marriage proposal? I mean, good Lord. But didn't you have to wait because I was tracking your trip. I knew you had gone out there. By the way, we could never have known that you went out west with the attire that he walks back in here with a Jackson Hole sweatshirt and he's got a Yellowstone hat on. Like he's just visiting.
That might have been on purpose.
The hat is fire. The hat is beautiful.
Visited all the parks, but you waited several days into your trip before you had the proposal. You had to get to the perfect spot on the itinerary to have the actual mountain range that you wanted behind you.
There's two parts to this. So not only that, I waited about a weekend. So we left on the Thursday 2 weeks ago, and the proposal was last Wednesday. So about a week.
About a week.
So that was kind of a wait. But also with the parks, Yellowstone especially, but not as much Grand Teton, there's no service in the park. So when you do something like that and you want to contact someone right away, you have no service out there. So I told everyone it was probably about 8 o'clock here this time when it happened, and people hadn't heard from me for a couple hours, and they're starting to get worried. Like, did she say no? What happened? But it was like, no, I couldn't call you until I got back to our Airbnb.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. And my lips were sealed. I would never be that guy. When you get the pleasure of somebody telling you a secret like that, you got to hold it hostage. And that's exactly what we did. So now you can take a deep breath. And now I guess, married folks will tell you the hard work is just beginning, CB. Now you really got to grind.
Especially with the planning of like venues and whatnot. Yeah. We've got a tour coming up. It's I'm starting to realize how much it really is.
Really
are you kind of open to ideas here? Are you for sure doing a Columbus wedding? Could it be in the outskirts? Because I know you in the future missus.
Yeah, it'll be out where the future missus is located. Her family, it's more of like the Springfield area is what we're looking at right now.
So not Columbus. You know that. Going to be out there.
No, Columbus is a little on the pricier side for my my budget, but we found a couple of great venues within our range out in that area that we're going to check out.
There we go.
I love that, man.
Look at him, Timmy.
Hiring the photog out there. I mean, I wasn't sure if you were going to bring one, like, stowed away in a duffel bag or whatever, like on the trip with you. Hiring the photog to pop up out of a bush.
The man knew what he was doing.
To take 300 snippets of the event.
He executed the plan very well. So it's good to have CB back. Tim, it's a big week in Ohio. Big week in Ohio. Buckeye football, they're starting camp on Thursday. I know CB's fired up about this big soccer match that's going down at the Shoe on Saturday between Manchester and Chelsea. That's going to be a banger. And then up at Cleveland the same day, Timmy Hall, you got WWE coming in for SummerSlam at Cleveland Browns Stadium.
Are you going?
I'm not going. So
you'll be watching, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man.
This is going to be big-time stuff. So you got two big events popping off, one here in Columbus on Saturday, one up in Cleveland on Saturday, and then Thursday, the journey begins for Buckeye football. And I know we're going to have some shows out there this week, so pay attention to that. I'll get you those exact times and shows coming up here in a little bit, but the fans going to be represented out there. But, Tim, as we all know, this is a massive kickoff to what could be an historic season, right? And just so much pressure is on this year's team to not only get the monkey off their back in the form of Michigan, but there's a lot of people here and on the outside world and the outside realms of Columbus that are saying Ohio State's got a real chance to be the last squad standing. So when we get to Thursday into the weekend, coming back next week, what are you looking forward to hearing about? What are some storylines you're interested in following for this year's team?
I think, and by the way, we'll have Juice and Bishop and Friends out there Thursday and Friday.
There you go. And
then we'll have Fan Sports Saturday and Fan Sports Sunday out there through the weekend. So we're going to be there. We're doing it up. It's a new era, right? NIL is bringing on all sorts of opportunities for access for fans.
I'm jealous
to get out there and watch. You know what? This is honestly something that they should have been doing long before NIL. Yeah. Because for how many years could you go to training camp? In the NFL. My entire life, basically, going to NFL training camps has been a thing, and a lot of them were free.
I'm going to feel like, is it Squidward in the SpongeBob meme where he's looking at SpongeBob and Patrick out there having fun, and he's just looking through the window? That's going to be me when everybody's doing their show out there for training camp in the next couple of days, and we're just back here at the studio. No, that's going to be awesome to have those guys out there. But, we know the headliner. The headliner is, what do we see? What do we hear about the quarterback position for a lot of people?
Yeah, when are we going to name it? How deep into this thing are we going to?
No doubt.
Take to name it.
What do the reps look like throughout the first couple of weeks? Is it going to be heavily slanted towards Will and Devin? Do we see maybe one of the young guys, Lincoln, Air, Julian Sand, really get in the mix post, I think, the first 3 to 4 practices, because that'll be a big thing to me. I think a handful of those guys are that room. I think Coach Day and Coach Hartline and Coach Kelly, they're going to give guys certain cracks at it right early on. But when it's really time to get that team chemistry going, does it go to just 2 guys or does it go to 2 or 3 guys? I'm always in favor of, when we get to game number 1, let's have a dude.
I just think, and you said it, quarterback, you don't have a team unless you have a quarterback that you can rely on. And we know Ohio State has plenty on this roster. Mm-hmm. And smart money says, when you look at Heisman odds, that it'll be Will Howard. Right. You go out there on the open market and you bring in a transfer quarterback with that much experience, then smart money says it's going to be the guy. Mm-hmm. Now, how good is he going to be? I think it's a fair question to ask, because this hasn't been someone that's just lit the lamp. He brings that element of the quarterback run because he's a bigger bodied, more size, like a Josh Allen type of dude. And so when we've looked at this Ohio State offense in years past and had more of the gunslinger, just pocket passers, we always wanted C.J. Stroud to take a glance to his left or right and see that open green in front of him and not be afraid to take that 7 yards, that 10 yards, and then slide or get out of bounds and take the easy play that's there.
We got
to
it
keep
in
the
one
chains
game.
moving. We got it in one game.
The Georgia game was incredible.
He snapped out of it. Yeah. And he was everything that you could have possibly imagined for a Buckeye quarterback. The only thing is they forgot to win that football game. They were so good, they just left a point out on the field.
That was tough, yeah.
Over all else, I mean, there's 15 storylines.
No doubt.
And then more on top of that. But it's just the fact for me that this is the biggest Buckeye football season I can ever remember being around for.
It's huge. And I think you nailed it with Will. I think his skill set will really show itself in a positive way, especially down in the red zone with what they're going to be, if he's the guy, right? You're talking about what should be an incredible run game.
Oh, yeah.
With the option of having a real threat down at the goal line inside the 20-10 and the 5. That's what he's going to present. And lastly, the pecking order at wide receiver. Like a Mecca, I think I know he's going to be an absolute stud this year. He's shown us that in the past. Injuries last year,
no doubt,
took some stuff away from him.
But those other two studs,
the other three, Carnell, Brandon, and Jeremiah Smith. How does that unfold itself, and who's going to be the guy that turns into the number 2 option or the 1B option in the wide receiver room?
I can't wait to see it.
Me either, man. Cannot wait as well. Coming up next, Coach Diebler. He added a new baller to the Buckeye basketball roster today. We'll tell you all about him next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Here's Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
FC Series presents Premier League giants Manchester City versus Chelsea. Don't miss the chance to see these great teams live at Ohio Stadium. Get your tickets now at fcseries.com.
Contractors, builders, apartment managers, listen up. There's a new cabinet company in town, Choice Cabinet. Over 60,000 in-stock cabinets ready for you. They want your business. Call them 216-378-9313 or online at choicecabinet.com.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in these uncertain economic times, you struggle to guard your life's work against unexpected challenges. But can it withstand the sudden disruption of a divorce? In divorce, financials are scrutinized and the company itself could be in jeopardy. When your hard-earned work is at risk, count on our experience and advocacy in handling these matters at Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
At Glow Fiber Business, your business is our priority. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic solutions, Glow Fiber Business delivers the fast, reliable, and scalable fiber internet your business needs to grow, all backed by the superior local customer support you deserve. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com to switch today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we're going to be cracking a few showers out there with a high of 85. Showers tonight, low 70. And then showers on Tuesday morning, turning sunny by Tuesday afternoon with a high of 87. Heat indices will be approaching 100 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got CB back in the house. And Timmy Hall filling in for AR today. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know some of you probably went down to the fair. I drove past yesterday, and the parking lot was absolutely booming. Sure, the funnel cakes were flying off the racks. You know, the Italia sausages for guys like me. Give me those, caramelized onions and peppers on that thing with just some yellow mustard. That's the beauty of the fair. Like the rides and all of that.
Oh, no. Put together by tiny lug nuts and bolts.
Terrified. I'm terrified of that.
Okay.
I'm good on that. Let's just go for the food.
Don't tilt-a-whirl me.
No, exactly.
I'm not down for spinning and then spinning while spinning.
Yeah.
Like 2 axes? No.
Terrified.
Don't
Absolutely.
need it.
Let's go for the food and the drink. The food, drink, and the vibes. That's what I'm there for at a fair.
I got down there last week.
Yeah.
Not last week. Sorry. I got down there last year. I'm not typically a hit the fair every year kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old enough now where I feel like I've been to so many fairs and things of that nature that you can't even keep track anymore, that you've lost count. But I did go last year because there was a concert that we wanted to see. It was Styx. That's right. It was a little classic rock. They were pretty good. Styx, an old band out of Chicago.
Okay.
I know you've heard a ton of their music if you've seen any Adam Sandler movies because he's very into them. And it was a good time. And yes, what I made sure to do is stop by like 2 different stands on the walk to the concert to eat. And then I took my time when the concert was done, after it had been a few hours, eating more on the way back. So I had like corn dogs, fries, funnel cake. And there was even a spot like in the middle of the fair where it had different vendors for all of like the main meat categories from all around Ohio. So there was like a chicken, a pork, a beef.
That's a win.
So there were just different, and they had different select dishes for you to have of those different meats, and it was fantastic. I went to the barbecue spot, and it was great.
Yeah, sounds like a great time. You like a vinegar-based barbecue sauce type of guy?
Oh,
or you know, more of a...
That's not what they had here for Ohio style. They had more of just like a slow roast pulled pork traditional. But you bring that up to me, being, spending years in North Carolina. Absolutely. Absolutely, I will have that. If you ever run across the restaurant Cookout, talked about this spot many times. It would be my number one choice if we brought in an outside restaurant to Columbus. I know the closest one is in Huntington, West Virginia, but if you go east towards the Carolinas to the beach towns, Cookouts are prevalent, and they do char-grilled burger type sandwiches. So those are the burgers they sling, but they also have that Carolina-style pulled pork sandwich.
And it's just called Cookout.
Just called Cookout.
Not the Cookout from Big Brother. Not that faction that got together.
No.
Okay, not
and,
them. Okay.
And it's the best value meal money can buy. You cannot even pick to have fries or onion rings. You can have a side dish, which is like extra chicken nuggets, or even a corn dog. You can have a corn dog as a side dish.
Okay.
And then the milkshake menu, too.
I'm a mini corn dogs type of guy.
They have those.
Okay. The meat on the stick, that's a little too much for me. The big corn dog. I like big corn dog? No, I'm a mini corn dog type of guy. Mini corn dog type of guy. That's my type of party.
Something
right
with
there.
the stick?
Yeah, and that doesn't work for me.
What about a popsicle? Will you do a popsicle?
I was more of like the
icy.
Yes.
You cut
you cut the plastic at the top.
You rip the sides of your mouth. You give yourself like Joker face trying to eat one of those with the shards of plastic.
New trailer just dropped for the new Joker, by the way.
How about that?
With Lady Gaga. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little Buckeye basketball. Real quick before we do that. Bottom of the hour, Andy Backstrom from Lettermen Row. He will preview Buckeye football camp with us in our next block. But Coach Diebler and his staff, they were cooking a little bit this morning because they went out and grabbed a new guy from the portal, and his name is Quez Glover. Quez Glover coming in, Timmy, and this is a guy that's an experienced guard coming in. This is a 6-year guy, made stops at Kansas State, at Samford, and at Florida, and we know that they dealt with an unfortunate injury this offseason in Chapman with his season-ending injury, so it makes a lot of sense now to try and fill that void at the guard spot with a guy that's been around for a little bit of time. So your thoughts on Quez Glover based off of what's out there right now?
Well, just take a listen and tell me how 2024 a player profile like this is, just with the transfer portal and the era that we live in.
Yeah.
So he starts off pretty decent recruit, right? He goes to Florida. Who wouldn't be excited about that? Going to SEC country to play in a great basketball conference at a school that, in part over a win against the Buckeyes and another one, 2-time national champs and putting themselves on the map with Billy Donovan. Haven't been that same program, but still, you're going to Florida, you're going to be a Gator. That's all well and good. So he's there for a couple of years. He doesn't really get a whole lot of traction. This happens, right? And then you make that personal choice to head out there and maybe take a step down. And so it works for him like crazy. He goes to Samford in the Southern Conference, and he's dominating. So his third year in college basketball, he goes from a 2.5 point per game guy to starting every game and scoring almost 20 points per game.
Cooking.
And I'm sure you watched some of his film from his time at Samford. He has a really good game, and what you're looking for from a smaller guard that only has about 6'1" in size, but takes it to the rack with authority and knows how to get his layup.
Yeah.
Like, he can score in a wide variety of layups.
Applies pressure to the defense. Yeah.
Pressure, and he can, put English on the basketball, and he feels pressure on his hip. He still gets the ball up and in and gets some of those and ones. And then after 2 years at Samford, he's going to move on, and he enrolls at BYU. He's out of there, and then he's at K-State, but then he's hurt for the entire season and doesn't play. And so that's the whole 23-24 season, and now he's here as an Ohio State Buckeye. What a roadmap for a college hoops journey.
And it's crazy. We see some of these wild roadmaps around just college athletics right now with some of these experienced guys with the COVID year and just the transfer portal and the impact that can have on guys' careers. When I think about this squad coming up next season, Timmy, there's two guys for me that come to the forefront of my mind that I believe that if they are consistent offensive weapons for Coach Diebler and Ohio State, that's really going to raise the ceiling for this year's team. Because in my mind, we know what we're getting from Bruce. That's going to be one of the best players in the conference. Michie Johnson comes back as an experienced guy who's going to provide an offensive spark. But my mind goes to Devin Royal and Micah Parrish. If one of those guys are in the best case scenario, both of those guys turn into guys that can be out there for 20-plus minutes a night and be a real threat on offense, that, to me, really raises the ceiling of this year's team. The big situation with how that's going to work out with the transfer, it's going to be huge to follow. But I think when you subtract Jamison Battle from this equation and how much he meant to the team offensively with his presence from the three-point line and his ability to put it on the deck last year, those two guys, to me, can really crank things up to another level for Ohio State this year. And I can't wait to see what it looks like, and especially for Devin, right, who talked a little bit this offseason about his three-point shot. He really didn't attempt hardly any three-point shots last year, less than 30 on the year in totality. So those are two big names for me to follow this year.
You want to know what's surprising for me right now is those two names that you mentioned. I am more confident in what those guys are going to bring. Devin, because of everything that we saw, and in those last 10, 15 games of the year, I think you saw a little bit of his mentality, and maybe part of that is being a highly touted recruit that's local, that cares a lot about doing it for the Ohio State University. Almost thinking back to a guy like Caleb Wesson and his brother Andre, what it meant for those guys. But I think you saw just a gritty, tough, scoring machine, somebody that wants to put the ball in the basket. I feel really good about what he could bring in his sophomore year. And Micah Parrish, just from what you know about him and how much of a veteran he is, I'm a little more nervous about what you're going to get from the high 5-star high school recruits to Kentucky and Duke that transferred over in Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart. Because can say the same type of thing, because you're thinking about this is a big, important year where you want this team to actually make some moves in the tournament. One or hopefully both of those guys also needs to be really big for this school, and I'm hoping we see it from them.
That's a good call, and I think what that's going to shine a light on is how well Coach Diebler and his staff can develop talent. And that's going to be such a big deal for them as well, to show all these other big-time players maybe that are in the portal or in the high school circuit that you come to Ohio State as a big-time prospect, we can get you to where you want to go. So, it's going to be a fun year, no doubt, for Buckeye basketball. We'll transition over to Buckeye football next with Andy Backstrom. He covers the squad for Lettermen Row. We will preview camp with him after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3-putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major, year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy, because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Diebler and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
It's shaping up to be one of the hottest summers on record, Columbus, which means your AC unit is being put to the test. With thousands of perfect Google reviews, your cooling experts at Sears Heating and Cooling will ensure your comfort just as we have the last 74 summers. Whether your AC unit is in need of maintenance, repair, or replacement, your Sears cooling team will get the job done right the first time at the best possible price. That's right. From Johnstown to Hilliard, enjoy the local pricing advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears. SearsHeatingCooling.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Listen, learn, lay the points. This is Rothman and Ice.
Yes, it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice got Timmy Hall in the house for AR today. Going to light up the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now and bring on Andy Backstrom, Ohio State beat writer for On 3 Sports and Lettermen Row. Andy, happy football season, my man. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, anytime. We appreciate your time. Let's start with the quarterbacks, because I know, that always soaks up a lot of the headlines, and rightfully so, and especially when you're transitioning to a new guy. It's always exciting to talk about. Andy, what do you understand about how the reps are going to be divided up in camp amongst that room when we get things rolling on Thursday?
Yeah, so it sounds like they're going to adopt that split field work that we saw throughout last August, where you're going to have, two offenses going at the same time, two defenses going on at the same time, one on each field, and that way they'll be able to evenly split those first-team reps. But that'll just be for the first four practices, it sounds like, the ones that are open to fans and media. And then it sounds like after that they're going to be a little bit more deliberate with how they kind of parse out those reps, which I think really intrigued me when I heard Ryan Day said that at Big Ten Media Day, because that's different than last summer when they just did that throughout the duration of training camp with the split field work. So maybe a little bit of a hint of when they'd be deciding to name starting quarterback. It's kind of hard to tell, though, but definitely a little bit of a different strategy than last summer.
Andy, tell me, though, beyond the quarterback position, which everybody's eyes are going to be on that, what do you think is going to have more of an impact on this offense? The two talented running backs back there or all of the wide receiver talent that they have running around?
I think just the running backs, to me, stick out more, given that you have the 1-2 duo of Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. That's hard to beat, not only in the Big Ten, but nationally. And I think with Chip Kelly coming in there and him being a run game innovator, I think you could see a lot more offensive balance from Ohio State than we had the last couple of seasons. I think Ryan Day wants to get back to the stage where you're really having, 300 passing yards and 200 rushing yards. That's the ideal at Ohio State. Obviously, that sounds pretty ridiculous for any other program in the country. But for Ohio State, that's kind of the standard, and they want to have more run-pass balance. And I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if you're an Ohio State fan if you see this team being like 55% run and 45%, pass. That's really not the worst kind of deviation for this kind of program that wants to have a long season and wants to be able to grind some teams out. of course, that really depends on the offensive line, which I'm sure we can talk about because that needs to be sorted out.
Andy Backstrom, Ohio State beat writer for On 3 Sports and Lettermen Road, joining us here on The Fan. Let's stay right there, Andy, because you know ball very well, and you can have all the weapons that you want in the running back room and the receiver room, but if your O-line's not consistent, your offense isn't going to click the way that you want it to. Like, I don't know if concern level is the right way to package that, but how concerned are you, I guess, about this offensive line on paper right now going into camp?
I think it's natural to have a little bit of concern considering last year and how much that group struggled at times. And I think there were some positive moments down the stretch of the season for someone like Josh Simmons, for, someone like Josh Fryer, who just had some bad moments, but overall a decent first season starting. But they need to piece it all together. And that right guard spot right now is still the unknown. You got three guys competing there, Tegra Shabola, Carson Hinsman, and Luke Montgomery. And, whoever's going to emerge, you're only as strong as your weakest link there in the offensive line. Everyone needs to be in sync, and so there really can't be any spot, whether it's in the interior or the tackles, that's too weak. So that's going to be the battle. I think a lot of people are keying in on these next couple of weeks, seeing where they line up, even the first day of practice. And I think that position battle certainly has my eye. But as far as the offensive line and concern level, I do think that you have to be a little bit encouraged by Chip Kelly being there, his marriage with, Justin Fry, having worked together at UCLA and had a lot of success on the ground together at UCLA there. So I think that's encouraging for Ohio State fans, and also the fact that Chip Kelly understands offensive line and how it's parlayed with the run game and the success he's had not only at UCLA but also Oregon, and even at times in the NFL and early in his NFL coaching career, the success they had with running the football. He's just super creative with different personnel groupings. You might see some more tight ends, 12 personnel, 13 personnel. He uses a lot of movement within those personnel groupings as well. So I think that you have to be encouraged by the personnel, but also the coaching staff kind of changes they made this offseason.
Andy Backstrom is talking some Buckeye football with us here. It's Rothman and Ice. And look, we've felt that this is becoming more of a professional type of deal with everything that has happened in college sports over the last 2-3 years. But I still think this is so cool. We always have this sense, this little timer with us in the back of our minds as Buckeye fans that we're getting closer to the season. But now that they are kicking off their practices and selling tickets and opening them up to the public, I just think that's such a neat deal. What all do you think they're going to offer for the fans? I'm sure autograph signings like NFL training camp style is going to be one of the things, but there's going to be a lot that they can do with this now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it really will take kind of the mold of the NFL training camp. Probably a ton of young kids will be out there getting autographs, like you said. Now with NIL, it really opens up a lot of possibilities. Even Student Appreciation Day was really cool this year.
Yeah.
You're seeing Caleb Downs swarmed by tons of students that just really got to, get a good first glimpse of someone that could be maybe the best player on the defense, transfer coming in. So I think it just opens up a lot of opportunities for these players to interact with the fans. And we see that after games and all these guys. I think that's the important thing about Ohio State. They're so talented, but every experience I've had watching them interact with fans also shows kind of people they are and the kind of fit they are for the culture at Ohio State. And Ryan Day talks about that, so much. And I think that's important for the program as well.
Andy, here in our studio, we got a couple jerseys hanging up with some Buckeye legends at the linebacker position, and A.J. Hawk and Bobby Carpenter, and those guys over there right now, they're being coached up in that linebacker room by a legend himself and James Laurinaitis. That's another question I have about this year's team, is that unit and the level of play that they're going to be able to reach week in and week out with, guys transitioning or maybe guys that haven't had a bunch of reps just yet. Just hit us with your take on that linebacker room at the moment.
I think it's important that they have Cody Simon as the carryover from last year's group. Yeah, you lose Tommy Eichenberg, you lose Steel Chambers, but Cody Simon was really the third linebacker, not only last season, but the season before that too. And Jim Knowles really trusts him as the quarterback of the defense. So someone that can replace Tommy Eichenberg as the Mike linebacker, someone who can, make the calls for the defense and kind of be ahead of the game and kind of be the Jim Knowles on the field. So I think that's super crucial to point out. But then the will linebacker spot's really fascinating because you got this insane athleticism with Sonny Styles, who's moved down from safety, maybe in a little bit more natural position at linebacker, weight-wise, size-wise. And then C.J. Hicks, who everyone's been waiting to kind of unleash the last couple of years. And it feels like finally, at least in some kind of role, whether that's as a pass rusher or just as a full-time will linebacker, we're going to see him on the field more defensively. And I think that's where the ceiling is really high because you have this athleticism of Sonny Styles and C.J. Hicks. And then you throw in someone like Arvell Reese, who's also very athletic and arguably doesn't even look like a linebacker because he's another 6'4", 250 guy. You got a lot to play with right there. And for Jim Knowles, it's going to be balancing, that aggressiveness that we didn't see as much last year, but also limiting the big plays, which they were good at last year. Finding the middle ground, if you will, I think is going to be really key for Jim Knowles in year 3.
I really like Arvell Reese that you mentioned. I think that's an under-the-radar player to watch. He plays with aggression. Speaking of under the radar, how about a beneath-the-surface storyline that you are looking for this first week of camp that plays out?
Yeah, I think the tight end pecking order, no one really talks about the tight end position right now. G. Scott Jr. is certainly a veteran in that unit, but Will Kacmarek, the transfer from Ohio University, I wouldn't be surprised if he really emerges sometime this summer as a guy that, maybe even contends for that tight end 1 spot. And I don't know how much the tight end's going to be involved in the passing game like it was last year with Cade Stover or even the year before that, but certainly that tight end position is something I have my eyes on because I don't think people are talking about it. And as creative as Chip Kelly is with those personnel groupings, I think we could see a lot of tight ends. Now, whether that's involved in blocking in line or just some extra guys there at the goal line for those heavy packages, I'm not sure. But I think the tight end position needs a little bit more attention because Keenan Bailey's going to play as many guys as he can.
There he is. Good stuff. Andy Backstrom covers Ohio State very well for On3 Sports and Lettermen Row. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Andy Backstrom. Andy, we appreciate your time, and I'm sure we'll be chopping it up with you in the coming weeks leading up to August 31st. Thanks, man.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, there goes Andy Backstrom from Lettermen Row. I think that's a good point from that tight end room because we saw how important that was last year, how good Cade was as that safety blanket, if you will, for Kyle McCord. Now, I think the weaponry in that wide receiver room is going to be good, but because there's a little uncertainty about what we know about Will's game consistently, and even Devin to a certain degree, maybe they do have a good rapport with the tight end position. So it's valuable. It's going to be valuable for that position to show itself as a nice option as well.
You just want G to step up and take that mantle, right? And I know you can't do this for everything, but we love to use those video game simulations. It's just a fun thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I haven't played the game yet, but Tyvis has been rocking and rolling with EA College Football 25.
It's sweet.
He tells me he's been peppering G. Scott Jr.
I'm here for it. You love those type of stories, right?
Video games, the tight ends kill it, right?
Absolutely.
They get that inside position. They get leverage on those DBs. They're killers. So let's hope that translates.
G's an easy guy to root for right now. Been around for a while, had to go through some things, and now hopefully he can come out on the other side because at a program like Ohio State, all it takes is 1 year to get the attention of the NFL, and you could be on your way. I played the game this weekend. It's sweet. Played it with the homies this weekend.
I have an old Xbox, Matty.
It's incredible, man.
An old Xbox.
We got to upgrade you. Because it's worth your time.
I need a $350 laying around. Find it under the couch or something.
CB's got it. CB makes
a
ton of money, right? He's got it.
He's a married man now.
Well, what you can get is AR's nephew could do the PS5 drop.
He can meet you in a dark alley somewhere, pick you up in some all black trucks.
Nothing against dark alleys if you get free things. I don't want the hood over my head.
I like that you said if it's free because I like to say if it's free, it's me.
There you go.
Coming up next, party like a Rothstar. Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We go to war for you. Would you bring a knife to a gunfight? This is attorney Robert Scherger. When the insurance companies call, give us a call at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU or go to warforyou.com for a free consultation.
warforyou.com. Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee? Arthritic pain like I was having in my knee? Maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened in Grove City.
This report is sponsored by AAA Car Care Plus. Tires worn down from all the summer driving? Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus between August 1st and August 31st and save up to $180 on select sets of 4 Veretta Stein tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF. Morning Juice.
Rob's birthday's on Thursday. It's unfortunate that this come every year. You know what? When people tell my dad, good to see you, he said it's better to be seen than viewed.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Rothstar.
All right, welcome back in. Natty Ice. Got Timmy Hall in the house filling in for AR today. Timmy, this is what we do on our show. We let our guests lead off this wonderful segment. So, who for you has been partying like a Rothstar recently?
I figured I would go in another guy that's a friend of our show, the Buckeye show, is Patrick Murphy. I know you guys have had him on many times.
Love Pat Murphy, man.
Pat Murphy from Bucknuts. And he, in addition to the work that he does covering the Bucks, he is a big crew guy. He used to do his stuff with Massive Report, so he was paying attention over the weekend. And the crew have just they've been on fire, right? They've been in fuego. They had that 1-1 draw, I know, against Charlotte, but the fact that they took down an English Premier League team, I know it's Aston Villa and it's not Manchester City, I get it, but these club friendlies, I just think that's awesome the way we have that now. MLS can go up against English Premier League. The stigma that had always been there, and look, compared to that league, it still is. You got a long road ahead if you ever want to get to that league in stature, right? I'm not saying that, but you had one of their clubs over here, and you beat them like a drum.
Here we go.
4-1. And this line from Pat, like he was partying about it, right? So Aston Villa, this one fan account, just sort of took this picture. I'm sure for people that sit in the Nordeca, they know this guy. He's a heavy set dude. He actually looks like one Brandon Beam, and he's wearing a construction hat. But he's just up there on one of the platforms, just with his arm extended out, like doing one of their things, like one of their things that they got in the supporter section. And the account just says, what is this? Hashtag AVFC. And Pat, with his sarcasm meter, just throws it right back and says, that's an MLS Cup champion. Enjoy your Champions League group stage exit and regression to 8th place finish after poor spending. Just letting them have it.
Flamethrower.
Letting them have it as you should.
See you.
Come into our place, get your brains beat in, head on back out. Crew partying like Rothstars.
Love that. Shout out to Patrick Murphy. If you're a Buckeye fan, make sure you follow his work as well because he does a great job. First candidate for me, I'm going with what I think is a feel-good story. Because a few years ago, maybe even just a couple years ago, Tim, we were all watching a primetime NFL game that involved the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. Monday Night Football. Never forget it. And we watched a very, very scary situation happen with Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa, this man went through it physically, right? Had the scary concussion stuff going on a couple years ago. Real doubt was in the air about, is he going to play in the NFL ever again? Does the Miami Dolphins, do they want him to be their quarterback of the future? Remember, they were flirting around with Tom Brady, and there was some other stuff out there about their ownership group wanting another guy. This guy turns it around. Last year, played in every single game. He led the league in passing yards with 4,624 of those things. And then he got rewarded this weekend with a 4-year, $212 million deal, 167 of that 212 guaranteed, $53 million per year. We can talk all we want about the pressure that's coming next. We all get it. But for Tua, when it looked like his career was in doubt due to health, for him to be where he is now, I think is pretty cool. And Tua's going to take us inside the building because it also sounded like his head coach was going to bat for him as well.
I hate about Mike and his relationship with you.
Well, I think it says a lot. Word gets around quick, and I don't think he knows that I know. But I've been told from several birdies that are, here in the facility that are upstairs as well, that he went to bat for me the day that I went out and practiced 11 on 11, 7 on 7 before we went on that little break, that he went to bat for me with, our owner. And, I won't go into details of things that I heard were said, but just know like he is what he says. He says what he told me, and he did what I was thinking he would do for me, and not just for me, but for any other player. So I'm very grateful for that.
Pretty cool. I think Mike McDaniel is a guy that he's let it known through his years of being a head coach and his rise through the ranks that he is very player oriented. He appreciates players that put it on the line. I was going to say I hate the imagery when somebody suffers through a concussion and you've got that look of somebody stumbling around and trying to get to their feet. That just tells you how violent this game is. Lest we forget. We're always trying to adjust the rules to make this game safer, and adjusting the kickoff rules, a big thing that's going to happen this year, and hopefully that's going to help. But nothing can really ever stop a defensive end from coming up and planting a quarterback. Hits are always going to be a part of the game, and you're accidentally going to get your helmet a little bit high in the zone. It's still going to happen, and there's nothing you can really do to take that out of the game completely. But McDaniel appreciates that, and so that's nice to see. And Tua is right on that fringe. He's right on that fringe of being a consistent top 10 quarterback.
He's just got to do it against good teams. That's the last thing.
And the Dolphins as a team, they got to now take this talent, take everything that they have, and go out and if they don't do it soon, they'll get a little bit of that Buffalo Bills stigma behind them of being really great in the regular season, but not being able to cash in and follow through in the postseason. They just got to go do it.
Who else you got on Party Like a Rothstar?
Yeah, so I'm looking at, I can throw a couple in here. Let's go with the newly paid, talk about a quarterback that also is maybe on that line if he has a great season of being a top 10 quarterback. But this just goes to show you, if you're in that area, you can become the highest paid quarterback in the history of the game. And that's what Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers is. Again, he should be partying like a Rothstar because I don't think we know yet if this guy is going to be a stone cold killer and a Super Bowl champ. He's shown some flashes of brilliance, but to get that 4-year, $220 million extension to be the highest paid quarterback, highest paid player of all time. Aaron Rodgers wants him to buy his real estate that he left in Green Bay. He's saying, I'm sorry, sir, only if you give me a little hometown discount. I like that back at A-Raj. But Jordan Love, he's got to walk through and have another brilliant season now.
Second candidate for me, give me Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was out of his mind the other day against Serbia. Game number 1 for the US of A. They took on Nikola Jokic in Serbia and cleaned their clocks. KD, first game back, hasn't been practicing much, dealing with a calf injury.
The old man.
And what does he do? He comes in with about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And remember, in the Olympic format, quarters are only 10 minutes. Kevin Durant went into halftime with 21 points. He nailed his first 8 shots of the game. Watching KD and LeBron do their thing was absolutely incredible. LeBron might be the best player on the team. The dude's about to be 40 years old. But getting Kevin Durant back is such a massive deal. The roster's already loaded, but Kevin Durant's the all-time leading scorer in USA basketball history, and he was partying like a Rothstar in game number 1. KD, the Slim Reaper, doing his thing.
He's Kevin Durant. I wonder how old Embiid thinks he is now. You know? Which, by the way, Joel, just shut up with stuff like that. You've never played 65 games in a season in your entire life.
He's an MVP. Put some respect on his name.
No, I put respect, but don't be talking about the age of LeBron and KD and that kind of stuff.
He was getting booed every time he touched the rock.
We're lucky if you can play a season, all right?
Fair. No,
Joel,
that's totally fair.
You're 32. So just shut up about all that stuff.
He was getting booed every time he touched the rock yesterday.
Yeah.
Because the people in France, he could have played for France, but he picks the USA.
Exactly.
So, that was some crazy stuff there. Coming up top of the hour. Training camp, it's off and running for the Cleveland Browns. How does DeShaun Watson, how's he bouncing back from his injury? How does he feel about the addition of Jerry Jeudy? He'll tell you next after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Hey, Buckeye fans, ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24-month lease with $3,000 due at signing and $731.24.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait.
Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you. Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall. Matty Ice was just talking about it on the show. KD's performance for Team USA basketball at the Olympics, that 110-84 win over Serbia. Head coach Steve Kerr, he knew he was going to get questions about sitting All-Star and All-NBA player Jason Tatum in that game, but he says he will play Wednesday when they play South Sudan. In the NHL, the Blue Jackets working on that roster over the weekend. The guys were talking to the new GM about it last week. They did come to terms with winger Kirill Marchenko for 3 years and $11.55 million. He had 23 goals last season for the Jackets. In the NFL, Taylor Decker, Lions offensive tackle, gets a 3-year extension worth $60 million. 31.8 of that is guaranteed. This one is sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences, tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to Oregon, and more. Register at roosterswings.com.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Yes, you are. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, CB, Timmy Hall in the house today. Always appreciate your time. Bottom of the hour, Brian Hedger from the Dispatch. He'll hop on to talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, your Columbus Blue Jackets. A lot of activity going on here recently. Timmy mentioned our interview with Don Waddell, the new GM. If you ever miss anything from the show, type in Rothman and Ice wherever you get your podcast. You can go find that interview or anything else that we do from noon to 3. So that'll be fun to catch up with Hedge at the bottom of the hour. So this weekend, Timmy, you know, I was off for a couple days last week. You had
a little Thursday, Friday, didn't you?
Went to a comedy show Wednesday night. Shout out to my guy Burrs and his team, the Affirmative Distraction team. That was awesome. They put on a great show on Wednesday night over at Natalie's in Grandview, so make sure you go check out their next show.
Affirmative Distraction.
Yeah, they've got a show coming up, I believe, at the end of August, so go check them out over at Natalie's. Check out their schedule and go.
God, man, I haven't been to a comedy show
it was good stuff.
A minute.
Improv, too, so they were just,
great.
Give us a topic. Who's at this party? And they were just absolutely rolling. So that was awesome to see. So I did that on Wednesday night.
God. Were you a Whose Line Is It Anyway guy?
I didn't watch too much. From my era, it was a little bit more Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon, which is a similar vibe. So I watched a lot of that growing up. So I did that last week. And then yesterday, I ended my weekend and my time off by going to the movie theater to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Perfect.
Now, not going to spoil anything. I am never that guy.
No, please don't, because
Absolutely
that just came out. It's going to clear $1 billion, I'm sure.
I'm not even going to get close to any spoilers. What I will say is, I think it's an absolute 9.5 out of 10. It's darn near perfect, the movie, in my opinion. I love everything Marvel. Deadpool might be my favorite Marvel character.
And this is so different than everything Marvel. Oh, that's why it's so good, is because it's not corny.
Yes,
they're doing whatever they want to do.
Whatever they want to do. And Ryan Reynolds has his fingerprints all over this thing as a producer now. He absolutely crushes this character. But now the addition of Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine is absolutely must-see stuff. So that's all I'm going to say, is that the movie was incredible. I probably will see it again this week, maybe twice in the next couple of weeks.
Oh.
That's how good I thought the movie was.
You're already planning on seeing it 3 times
it's going to have to happen.
Theater.
Because I don't want to have to wait, and I know we don't have to wait much longer as long as we used to back in the day for movies to come out, but I thought it was that good. So that's all I got to say about the movie.
Oh, man.
And I think if you go see it, you will enjoy the flick.
When was the last time you saw a movie multiple times in the theater? Or even go to 3 times?
The one that pops into my mind immediately was Django. I did that a few times a couple years ago.
No kidding.
With my friends. I went
one
to
of the
see
bloodiest Quentin movies he ever put out.
It
is fantastic.
Christoph Waltz, is that his name?
Yep, he's in that.
I like him.
Leo,
Jamie Foxx,
obviously.
Samuel. The cast was incredible. Kerry Washington's in that movie as well.
It's brilliant.
I saw that a few
the
times.
memes that come from that movie.
Oh, incredible.
The Leo memes of him holding up the glass.
That's what I'm saying. Like I saw that,
the
and
smile.
I feel like I did that one other time recently, but it's not popping. But
Top Gun Maverick for me.
Okay, AR hasn't seen that
at least 3 times,
and I know he's a huge Top Gun guy. And I tell him every time I hear someone talk about Maverick, they talk about how good the darn movie is.
It's so rewatchable.
Yeah,
honestly, I don't understand it because you know everything that's coming around every turn, and it's still so good.
So
I mean,
good.
Instant classic. You can put it right up to the top of the list for movies that are rewatchable because the scenes, it's just cool.
Yeah,
what else could you say?
I absolutely hear you. So,
what kid doesn't dream about being a fighter pilot for at least 10 minutes when you're growing up? It's just awesome.
To feel
like
great,
that.
right? It has to feel great.
God.
So, no, that is for me. And I know they had kind of Comic-Cons going on, or not kind of. Comic-Con was going on this past weekend.
Oh, really? Where was that? Like San Diego
It was
or
San
someplace?
Diego. And I know Robert Downey Jr. came out and announced himself as Dr. Doom in one of the new Avengers movies. And
what's the deal with Dr. Doom?
How
can he be Dr. Doom if he was Tony Stark?
He was there live and in the flesh, took off the mask, and he's going to play that role. But the lineup for 2026, as far as the movies go, incredible. Like we're in good hands the next couple of years with what's coming out in the Marvel realm and what's coming out in the new Lord of the Rings, and it's going to be a lot of good stuff popping off.
I will tell you, I was out at the theaters as well, and it's not every weekend. I would say we're at like 2 or 3 times a year now when we actually venture out to the theaters to see a movie. And I will be going back soon because I got to see Deadpool and Wolverine. So this is a rare opportunity where there were 2 things that we were excited about. So it was Twisters, right?
Okay.
I mean, who doesn't love the original Twister? You've probably been seeing that in one of the streaming platforms that you subscribe to because the new movie was about to drop. So we went back and watched that and showed it to Jack too, and he loved it. So the one with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, and it still holds up too, like watching that one. Special effects done a little differently, but the new film was so good. I mean, really good. And the fact I mentioned Top Gun Maverick, Hangman, Glenn Howerton. You might have seen him on some of the commercials for the Open Championship on NBC. He's the main guy in this new movie. Yeah. He's a good-looking dude. You could tell he's got a little bit of that it factor going with him. I think he is, if he's not already risen to the top of Hollywood right now,
he's on his way.
He is clearly on his way with that movie and then being the lead in this one. But I would say take the original Twister and add at least 2 more intense storm scenes. Like they've got their opening, like the intro scene, crazy stuff happens. Middle, there's a big one. And then at the end, of course, there's going to be a big, storm scene. But at least 2 more peppered throughout the movie that are just awesome. And special effects wise, the storyline, it was good.
Worth your time.
Absolutely worth it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Glad you did, man. CB is going to hopefully enjoy a good season from DeShaun Watson because I think for, a lot of the Brown fans that I communicate with that reach out to me or whatever, they feel like it's put up or shut up time for this guy. Like, this is it, right? And we know the injury stuff has transpired and he hasn't been able to have a clean bill of health and a clean pathway to really get going. But at this point, after what they did for him a few years ago financially, it's time to really show why the ownership group and the GM and everybody was on board to invest in him that way. So he had the shoulder injury last year, which really took him out of the mix. Let's hear from DeShaun and how he's been progressing throwing the rock around.
I'm right on track, right where I want to be. I'm right where the doctors wanted me to be. And, just continue to follow the process, continue to follow the script and taking it one day at a time and just locked in on the process of what's ahead of us.
It's such a big deal that he gets going and can hit the ground running in game number 1, I believe, against the Dallas Cowboys. And I think Tom Brady's on the call in that game. And the reason why I bring that up, Tim, is because
that's going to be the best part of it.
It's going to be crazy, right? To hear what Tom really brings to this.
It's going to be great.
I think you could get a little taste of it. And then didn't he pop up at one of the UFL games or whatever that league is? He hopped on one of the broadcasts. I don't know if he did color in that game or maybe it was just like an in between quarter type of thing. But I think if that's out there, that you may be able to.
I believe he was doing it as a simulated game elsewhere, and then the actual booth with like Kurt Menefee and whatnot brought him in for like an interview.
I think you just know, right?
That he's going to be good?
Some guys you just know because, for one, you have to have the interest and the desire to do it.
Well, the money will... But that'll make you interested.
I don't need money. You know what I mean?
It doesn't hurt.
The willingness to work and do that gig, and it is crazy that you could still make about what you were making as a quarterback to be the lead broadcaster with $30 million a year,
without ever having to do the job,
to do a game a week
that you've never done before.
Yeah, and I'm not getting hit anymore. It seems awesome, right? To make that switch,
it really does.
If I could do that for 10 years or so, right? Before I just want to, I know you and I talk about if we had a $500 million sack of cash. What are we working for, you know? I'll give you, 1 or 2 days a week. I'll come in and be like your Friday host if you want me to.
AR doesn't believe me, but I just know how I'm wired, and I have to get my sports takes off. So I would be in with doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I always say
3 days.
I want to react coming out of the weekend, get a little hump day action, and then I want to preview going into the weekend. So
something tells me you're going to be submitting a lot of Wednesday PTO, Maddie. Something tells me that little day in, 1 day out, 1 day in, 1 day out. You're going to get busy. You're like, you know what? I actually got to take the jet to Italy this week. So
fettuccine.
I'm going to miss that Wednesday and Friday.
A little glass of Prosecco with some fettuccine, in Italy.
Oh, man. But no, Brady's going to be fantastic. But to DeShaun, 2 words come to mind that sum him up really well. Complete disaster. Complete disaster.
We're at complete disaster already for you.
It's chaos. It's chaotic. It's been so bad. I mean, think about this. Since this whole experiment began, bringing a guy out of where he was, don't really need to dig into that too much, out of football into what he was into, he's given you 2,200 yards and 14 touchdowns.
It's not great.
2,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. That is a lousy half season. That's a lousy half of a football season for a star quarterback in today's day and age. That's what he's given you across 2 years with suspensions, injuries, all of the above. It's just a total disaster.
That's fair, and I think there's probably a lot of people that are with you. I'm not in the complete disaster yet. I think I will be following another year of what you just laid out. But I think with some of the tweaks that they've made and the comfortability, I think he has within this offense mentally, right? Because he knows his head coach is the play caller. I know that they're bringing in Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator, but Kev's going to call the plays. So they, I would think at this point, should be on the same page. But now you bring in Jerry Jeudy, who the front office committed to for years to come. You get Amari Cooper. They tweaked his deal, got him some more guaranteed money. But, CB, let's hear from DeShaun on the addition of Jerry Jeudy to the squad.
He's explosive. He's very elusive. Get the ball in his hands, let him work in space. He's just like Coop and Elijah. Guys can run routes, and they take pride in that. So they're very detailed. We watch tape every morning and every night, just going over maybe 1 or 2 routes. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. What are you saying? We're getting on the same page. So when we get to those games, it just worked like clockwork. And just, the timing and the execution is very good. So, AB is doing a heck of a job of putting guys around us, and we got to put it together so we can go out there and score a lot of points for this team and help this team win.
The potential of this passing attack, I think, should be encouraging for Browns fans. A lot of it's going to depend on exactly what you just said from DeShaun. DeShaun, got to take your game to much higher heights. There's no debating that whatsoever. But I think last year,
got to stay on the field
100%.
Yeah.
But last year we saw when Joe Flacco stepped in that the weaponry is there for the passing attack to be explosive. And if you're talking about maybe early on in the process, Nick Chubb still feeling his way back, or maybe he's not ready to go, those 3 guys, Njoku, Coop, and Jerry Jeudy, should be able to provide a safe floor for this offense.
Cooper's been amazing.
Yeah.
I'll be very intrigued to see if Jerry Jeudy has some kind of resurgence. We know Steve Smith Sr., big fan of his. Huge fan.
That was absolutely insane before that pregame show. Just dunked on the dude publicly. Like, if the Carolina Panthers ask me, should they trade for you? I'm telling them, hell no. Like, it was something I've absolutely never seen before.
I don't like your game, Jerry.
Don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
It was pretty wild. Absolutely insane. Coming up next, according to one ESPN NFL reporter, one quarterback that was the presumed number 2 on his roster may have more of a chance to be the guy than we think. We'll tell you who next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. We have all heard the horror stories of someone knocking on the door to offer a free roof inspection, only to go up and illegally create damage to the roof in hopes of trying to push through a new roof to the insurance company. Rather than having to deal with going through the process of filing claims for vandalism, call a company that you can trust. That company is Newman Roofing. They've been working in the community for 32 years. They did my roof. They came to the house. I could trust them with my kids, with my wife, with my family, and they have built a reputation of honesty and integrity. They'll be honest with you on whether or not you need a new roof, whether it's sustained damage in recent storms, and whether there's still life left in it. They'll educate you so you understand what is happening with your roof and answer any questions like they did for me and my family. So whether you need a roof repair or replacement, call the most trusted company in Ohio. Call Newman Roofing at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
We don't talk about politics on The Fan. Instead, we welcome Buckeyes fans, NFL fans, and anyone looking to escape the never-ending cycle of misery. You're safe here, friends. The Fan, home of the Buckeyes and Ohio's politics-free destination.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we're going to be tracking a few showers out there with a high of 85. Showers tonight, low 70. And then showers on Tuesday morning, turning sunny by Tuesday afternoon with a high of 87. Heat indices will be approaching 100 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice got Timmy Hall, host of the Buckeye Show, filling in for our guy AR today. Bottom of the hour, Brian Hedger from the Dispatch will hop on to talk about the latest CBJ moves in the offseason. Timmy, what's your let's do a little vibe check on the Olympics for you. You've been tapped in at all this weekend?
You know, I have not been as in as I've wanted to be. I checked out the opening ceremony. What were your thoughts on that? Because when I caught it, it was earlier.
Yeah.
And it just did not do it for me. And I realized that after I sent out that tweet, darkness fell and the mood and the lights got a lot different. But when I first checked in, it was daytime. It was drizzly. Mm-hmm. There's just athletes out there on boats, so the shots are kind of far away. It just lacked for me.
Gotta be honest.
I feel stadiums at night, laser light shows, huge celebrities, wild choreography with dancers and whatnot. It just real elaborate stuff. And I was not feeling it at all from that daytime drizzly boat parade.
Well, I got to be honest.
Down the Pooh River that is the Seine.
I didn't even watch the opening ceremony.
Didn't do it at all,
so
right?
it sounds like I didn't miss much of anything.
I wanted to see LeBron.
Carry the flag,
I wanted to see LeBron. And really, the flag was kind of holstered there on the end of the boat, and you just kind of grabbed a hold
on to it.
Get a grip on that flagpole.
No, I didn't even watch it.
Nice
Timmy.
and firm, CB.
I didn't even watch the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you, Tim?
That one's for Anthony.
Yeah, you're sitting in the right seat because he'll usually throw those out there too.
And this morning when you flip on your YouTube TV and it's telling you like, there's this feed, and this feed, right? There's a million things you can click on. And the first thing that I sort of dropped myself into is field hockey, women's field hockey.
Okay.
USA and España were going at it. And
I'm interested in that.
I got to tell you.
Didn't do much for you?
I don't know much about the game. I mean, I'm sure the people that play it are, very passionate about it and all the way in. And I appreciate a sport like that because you are never, ever thinking about field hockey until the Olympics come around. That's one of those quintessential Olympic sports.
No question.
Where this is their time to perform. But I don't know what that would feel like if you get just walloped on the leg or the shin.
By the club?
With that, I mean, it is a hard wooden stick. Like, think about that.
No padding down there? You think they're not
They have, I think they tape the end of it up, but they're also not like long. They're hunched over. Like they've got to crouch down just to hit the ball back and forth to each other.
Back problems.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But it's
hockey.
The pitch is big. Like it's a soccer sized pitch. So it's a lot of space out there, and like water polo that we got on screen one here. That's also a tough sport because you're in 12 feet deep of water. Your feet can never touch the ground. You're treading the entire time, swimming up and down the pool, firing this volleyball type of ball, 60, 70 miles an hour at people's heads. That's a nasty sport.
Yeah, we got archery on the other screen right now.
That's not doing it for me.
No, I don't. I'd probably fall asleep watching that too. I did the basketball game as I mentioned earlier, and
like
D
great
Wade,
bullseye. Every
Wade,
shot.
I don't know if you saw Dwayne Wade was trending.
Okay,
he was kind of getting dunked on for his color. Analyst skills yesterday because he did it with Iron Eagle's son. No Eagle, which by the way, like his pathway to success is it's already written.
It's right there.
He's already in, and he's good. I'm not saying that his daddy just handed it to him, but it helps when your dad is Iron Eagle. But No Eagle's a name we're going to be hearing for years and years. But he did the game.
He does the Nickelodeon stuff, doesn't he?
He does the Nickelodeon game
with Nate Burleson.
I think
guys.
he's a part of another team somewhere. But yeah, D Wade, wasn't a great outing for D Wade. But he doesn't do that. This is his first time doing it. But yeah, he was not great for it.
Not everybody can walk right into that.
It's different. It's a different world.
It's completely different.
You can know the game backwards and forwards. He can call. He knows basketball better than anybody probably. But it's different when that mic goes live and you got to call live action. Speaking of live action, we got live action going on right now all around the National Football League, specifically here in the AFC North. We focus on that division a ton. And over in Pittsburgh, it seems like maybe things are changing just a little bit because ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported this and said, quote, Fields definitely has work to do to catch Wilson in the race for the starting job. But The Steelers are open-minded about his ability to do so. The important thing to keep in mind here is that the Steelers have no prior connection to either of these quarterbacks and no compelling financial commitment that would lead them to favor one over the other. So when they say it's an open competition and Fields has a chance, believe them. I think the money thing is a massive thing because one of my biggest rules, Tim, in sports is follow the money. You follow the money when it comes to playing time around the National Football League because owners aren't going to spend tens of millions of dollars to watch a guy just, fade away, like one of the Avengers on the sideline, right? Like just fade away when Thanos comes around. Like the owners aren't going to want to see that. And so in this situation, when Jeremy Fowler brings up the financial commitment that isn't there for Pittsburgh, it's less than $2 million. That's their price tag for Russell Wilson this season. The Denver Broncos are really picking up the heavy portion of the tab.
Mr. Unlimited.
I'm all in on this, and I think this is the right way to go about it, Tim, because to me, Justin Fields offers them a higher ceiling offensively. Now, Justin's got to show much more progress within the pocket and getting the rock to his playmakers.
Yeah, he does.
But as far as if you and I were, defensive coaches getting ready for the Steelers, I'd be like, Tim, the quarterback that would really scare me it's the Fields guy. It's not Russell Wilson, just because if he adds just a whole nother layer to your offense, there's more items on the menu when you have Justin Fields. So that's the latest coming out of the weekend, according to Jeremy Fowler, that this thing hasn't been handed to Russell Wilson just yet.
I don't want to make it out like I'm expecting Justin Fields to become a Pro Bowler, right? Like that's a stretch. Yeah. It's a stretch right now with the way things happen in Chicago, and it's a lot, right? As we have seen in the past, to change scenery. If you didn't even reach the certain level of success that you were looking for, and you're a younger quarterback, and maybe, it turns out that I don't know if he definitely wouldn't admit that he has confidence issues. So I'd like to think that Justin's confidence is up there, but it's so much more than that, right? It's a lot of things have to click into place for it to work. And then the most important thing is it's just very, very difficult. It is really, really hard to become great at that level. If you're missing one component of your game, none of it could work for you at that level. And most importantly, I think, is reading the football field, right? Like what we've seen CJ Stroud do at a very, very high level. And you don't have to have Justin Fields' scrambling and rushing abilities to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So it's definitely that first part over the athleticism that you're looking for first and foremost. The athleticism that he's got can save him from a lot.
It's elite. It's an elite trait.
And I don't want to say that he can't, develop, and maybe he's learned some things for Chicago or from his experience there, and he knows, like, he's ready to, get back in there into the fire, and when he sees, defenses try to do certain things on him, he's going to know what's coming his way. Yeah. It's just, you said it, it's a cheap trade. Pittsburgh's got nothing invested in it, so one guy is capped. I mean, I am highly doubtful. I'm more sure that Russell Wilson is not going to achieve that level that he had when he was a younger man in Seattle than I am that Justin Fields can never figure it out.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And, here's where I'm at. I think either one of these guys is going to provide better quarterback play than what they've had the last couple of years. I think their floor is safer at that position, but how high is the ceiling? Because no matter who the guy is, this defense isn't going to make you work too much. They're probably going to have a good defense again. They got a heck of a head coach there. You got a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith that's coming that's going to protect you with the run game as well. If I'm Justin Fields, one guy who I really would have been in contact with a lot this summer to pick his brain on going through some things is Baker Mayfield. I would have really liked to talk to Baker.
That is a good pull.
Talk to him about how he dealt with going from being the 1-1 in a draft and then having to bounce around the league. And Baker has found himself on the other side. Won a playoff game last year, got himself a new bag this offseason as well. Like, if I'm Justin, that's a guy I would have hit up and to just talk me through how you dealt with that type of adversity, because that's where Justin is at right now.
Yeah, you've been, how many teams scraps at that point if you're Baker?
I mean, it was Carolina,
he went to Carolina,
Rams,
then he went to the Rams.
So I think it's been 4 teams that he's been a part of.
On his 4th team.
So the story's not over.
Right. Like, he's got to back it up. He had one good year now in his new spot. Can you keep doing this and actually become entrenched and be the guy for a 5-year run, kind of like Geno Smith has has found also would be another guy that I would reach out to and talk to.
100%. We're going to talk to Brian Hedger next. He covers the Columbus Blue Jackets for the Dispatch. Activity this weekend, Marchenko, Ken Johnson stuff, new head coach in the mix. We'll pick his brain on all of it after this. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Straight from the manufacturer, cabinets are a better value. That's why you need Choice Cabinet for your next project. All wood, quality cabinets from an Ohio business that does things right. Choice Cabinet, 216-378-9313 or choicecabinet.com.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. Austin Ward here. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy, because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just 40 pounds away at Awaken180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy amongst your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken 180 is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist bumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Tired of rising food prices? Start saving with deals for days at Giant Eagle and Market District. Enjoy low prices on more than 1,000 of your go-to grocery items store-wide. Dive into deals for a limited time at your local Giant Eagle and Market District.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. I was in my Lexus the other day. It was hot as hell, but I was so thankful for my ventilated seats. I'm not saying that's why you should buy one. It's just very nice. Right now at Jermaine Lexus, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with lease payments as low as $499 a month and 3.99% financing on select models. Get this, the RZ is 0%. I have been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at DonateLifeOhio.org.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival August 2nd through 4th. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts and more than 800 performers. Get your tickets at DublinIrishFestival.org.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Helping you ace your afternoon. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Timmy Hall in the house today for AR. Going to light up the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now and bring on one of our favorites, Brian Hedger from the Columbus Dispatch. Does a great job covering your Columbus Blue Jackets. Hedge, how's the summer been treating you, my man?
It's been busy. Very, very busy. And I'm anxiously awaiting the re-signing of Cole Sillinger and then the possible trade of Patrick Laine, which I'm sure you guys will get to, and then hopefully I can get a couple weeks off.
There you go, man.
It's been busy and good. So
well, hopefully that'll happen sooner rather than later. Let's start with the Marchenko news. They avoid arbitration. Talk us through that situation and everything we need to know about that extension.
Yeah, they've never gone to arbitration. They've never actually gotten to a hearing stage before. And, had they gotten there, and both sides were prepared to go to arbitration. They had a hearing that was set for Wednesday at some point in front of an arbitrator in Toronto. And I know that Don Waddell, the new GM of the Blue Jackets and president of hockey operations, I know he was prepared to go that stage or go to that level if it took that. And so was Marchenko and his agent, Dan Milstein. However, there was a desire by both sides to not go there and to get a deal done. And so they ended up getting the deal done on Sunday, that 3-year deal, the $3.85 million average annual value, that's the cap hit for 3 years. I think it's a perfect deal for both sides, actually, because Marchenko gets paid. He's had a really nice start to his career. His NHL career, past 2 years, he scored more than 20 goals. He's shown unbelievable, just skill and high-end elite kind of a skill and playmaking and scoring ability. So this gives him a chance to continue developing and maturing. And at the end of it, he's still going to have one more year left of restricted free agency with arbitration rights for, negotiating leverage. And so then at that point, let's say he blows it out of the water for the next 3 years. Maybe the Blue Jackets look at it at that point. He'll be 27 years old, and maybe they say, hey, let's talk about a longer-term extension this time. Let's talk 5 to 7 years or maybe even 8, that kind of thing, if he's that good. It kind of kicks the can down the road a little bit and gives both sides an opportunity to really get what they want, long term.
Yeah, Brian, I think it's a nice bridge deal. And you said it, if he develops into a 30 to 40 goal scorer, I think you'd be happy to have those conversations and to see where it goes when he's in his late 20s. But let's hit on the other big fish there. It was interesting because this past, Friday, I believe it was announced that Patrick Laine got released from the player assistance program. So how do you view this? We know Don Waddell, and in his view, he'll be happy to listen to offers, but it's got to be the right thing for the club. They won't just do something. Where do you see this going with Patrick's inability to be on the ice a lot in his time here with the Jackets?
Yeah, he's really had a star-crossed existence here ever since he got here, really. I mean, when you go back all the way to it in 2021, before when the deal was actually made and they sent Pierre-Luc Dubois and draft picks to Winnipeg for Laine and Jack Roslovic. Laine was injured at that point for the Winnipeg Jets, and when we look back on it now, we look back and say, well, maybe that was like an omen at that point. For he just has not been able to stay healthy in his time here. I think he's already played 4 years here, which is kind of crazy, or 4 seasons, parts of 4 seasons. What's really interesting about Laine is, last year was kind of the exception to the rule as far as he didn't really, even when he was healthy for those 18 games, or he was in the lineup, I should say, didn't really have the kind of impact that he or the Jackets needed or wanted him to have. And that was maybe the first time since his initial, since the initial trade that had been the case. The previous 2 years, it was injuries that held him back. Every time that guy was on the ice, he was a point-a-game player for the Blue Jackets the previous 2 years. So he's really a wild card at this point. And, he gets cleared from the program, the NHLPA program. So he can talk to opposing GMs now, and he can talk to opposing teams or whatever. But, initially you see that news and you think, well, maybe this will speed things along, because he does want to be traded. He does want I think in his mind, he just wants a fresh start. And I think the Blue Jackets are kind of right along there with him. I think they kind of want to grant that wish, but they don't want to just, not only give him away, but pay for him to go away and pay a ton, right? Like, I was talking to Don Waddell on Friday, or actually Saturday, about this, and kind of talked to him, and he said, look, if I wanted to pay 50%, like, which is the max that a team can pay of a player's as a trade incentive of a player's contract, he's like, if I wanted to, eat 50%, I could have a deal like right now. But he doesn't want to eat 50%. Like he wants to actually have this be somewhat of a fair trade for the Blue Jackets, to trade a guy like Laine, who was a previous 40-goal scorer for the Winnipeg Jets and previous point-a-game player for the Blue Jackets. So, this may take a while. It could also happen like as soon as I hang up the phone here. We really don't know, but it could take a little while, because it sounds like even after he got out of the program, we're at a point in the summer now. It's getting late, right? And people have already kind of figured out a lot of their rosters. This may end up being a deal where Laine has to stay here at least to start the season and kind of prove his worth. And then, if he returns to form, you'll magically see a trade happen if he still wants it to happen at that point. But you never know. They may be able to get a deal done before the season too, so we just kind of have to watch on that one.
We're talking all things CBJ with Brian Hedger, who covers the Columbus Blue Jackets for the Dispatch. Has, as you know, a lot of excitement about Fantilli, Caden Lindstrom, what those guys can be down the road. But another one of those young guys that should be in that conversation, in my opinion, is Kent Johnson. Had some news coming out of the weekend about a new deal for him. Your thoughts on that deal, and what type of ceiling does this guy have, you believe, in Columbus in the next few years?
Yeah, and what a bit, I tweeted it this morning. Super busy weekend for the Blue Jackets, but also a productive weekend for the Blue Jackets, right? Like the Kent Johnson one, that was going to be like Don Waddell was expecting that one to be a 1-year contract, and that made sense, right? Because he had the shoulder injury that ended last year prematurely. I believe it was like late February. He had to have surgery. And it wasn't a great year statistically for him anyway. Like, he kind of took some steps back statistically. He had to go to Cleveland, all that kind of stuff. So it was really, really difficult. It was going to be difficult to forge a multi-year contract with Kent Johnson. But when it came down to it, Kent Johnson wanted a multi-year deal, and his representation and his representation kind of looked it over, and the Jackets went to 1.8 average annual value on that, a cap hit. Again, a lot like Marchenko, I think that's a great deal for both sides. At this point in his career, Johnson's still young. He gets some measure of security with that kind of money. Over 3 years, but he also I thought it was really interesting when I talked to Kent on Saturday, and his quote was, the goal is to make myself underpaid, like vastly underpaid, by the time it comes up next time. And that's exactly the case. Like, if we get 3 years down the road and we look at that and go, wow, what a steal that was, that's great news for the Blue Jackets, and it's actually great news for Kent Johnson as well, because at that point he'll still be 24 years old, and again, he'll still have a bunch of years, 2 or 3 years left of RFA. He'll have multiple years of RFA, and then they can start talking long-term deal with him as well if they want to. As far as ceiling, I know the coaching staff that is in place right now loves Kent Johnson. They love his ability. They love his potential. I think you look at him and as it was told to me, it's kind of like in basketball, those point guards who can just kind of see the floor. They just kind of feel where people are. And he's that guy. And he's got the hands to do stuff about it. And he also has a really unique ability to be able to kind of shield the puck away from people who are trying to take it away from him. What he lacks in, north-south speed, I was talking to him Saturday. He said he's working on that this summer. Like, the goal is to become more explosive as a skater and add some speed in there as well. I thought that was one area that kind of held him back a little bit. But he's going to get it eventually, and when it clicks for him, we're going to know. He's got a high end of potential.
No doubt about it. Brian Hedger does a great job covering the Jackets over at the Dispatch. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Brian Hedger. Hedge, I know it's been a grind for you. We appreciate you carving out some time for us. Have a good one.
It's not over yet, so maybe I'll be back in a couple weeks. You never know.
You never know. There
Soon,
he goes.
though.
Brian Hedger he was on the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When we come back in the Buckeye Bulletin, a new addition to the Buckeye basketball team. We'll tell you all about it after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Pretection. Yep, Pretection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444-ROOF.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, Timmy, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. If you're just now joining the program, Timmy Hall, host of the Buckeye Show, filling in for our guy AR today.
This segment will be easy, man.
You can do this. You do this every day.
Buckeye Bulletin, we do 8 of these. On a show. Yeah.
Every single day.
And the Buckeye Show will be on at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
I'm not going to do double duty. I'm just doing this today.
Who's filling in?
We're going to have our guy, Dane Sanzenbacher, and Tito.
There we go.
Yeah,
Tito and Dane.
And Dane keeps joking with me about how I've yet to do a show with him. He's like, I've done like 3 or 4 things. We're supposed to do the Cardale Jones together. You skipped out on that. I was dying, Dane.
Yeah, you were
I was
down
dying.
bad.
I would have loved to have been out there for the Sanzenbacher, for the Cardale Jones celebrity softball game. But a chili dog up there in the fan cafe got me and about killed me.
So word on the street is not only did you eat the chili dog, but Tyvis Powell ate the chili dog as well.
Yeah, we both ate it.
So his
there's a not a TikTok, but what do we got? The YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
There might be a TikTok as well. I think the fans on that now too.
So I think we found out is his immune system is much stronger than yours. Is that
it's
what it is?
Former football player.
Yeah, he can handle a lot of things.
Right?
By the way, speaking of Tyvis Powell, you can hear him from 3 to 6 today right here on The Fan. He'll be filling in for the man.
And it's a big deal because Tyvis had always been wondering if T-Bone hated him for some reason.
Because he never did a show.
And of all the guys here on the station, he thinks that T-Bone was the last guy he hadn't hosted with. So, as you said, very big deal. 3 o'clock here today to hear what that chemistry sounds like. T-Bone and Tyvis. I think that's going to be a wild good time.
Yeah, because Tyvis is always haunting us with the fat head of him that just stays in the studio now every day. I don't know what's going on there.
Isn't that such a bad picture of him?
It's actually a really good pic. What's wrong with the pic? Not bad.
No, because look at he has a wonderful smile.
Yeah.
But that's like one of those when you're 11 years old and your mom tells you to smile and all you do is show your teeth. Showing teeth does not signify a smile. Like anyone can just like look at the YouTube live cam, just grip my teeth. Hey.
I'm not mad at it.
That's not, he's much better looking than that. I'm trying to compliment him.
I like it. But yeah, Tyvis will be in here today, and I'm sure he'll be wearing some type of Cleveland hat because he never, he's always got the Cleveland hat.
I respect that about him.
I
do too. It's fun to have a thing.
That's his thing.
His thing is the guard's hat.
No question about it.
And diets.
Let's talk.
That fall through the cracks.
Wasn't he supposed to be on some juice diet for a while? How'd that?
Hey, diet starts on Monday.
What we all say. I'll start on Monday.
It's today.
I'll start on Monday. Let's talk a little Buckeye
over
basketball.
by Tuesday.
We had some news coming out of the shot today, Timmy, because Jake Diebler, his staff, they go out and add to their roster in the form of Quez Glover. And this is a seasoned vet, been on the block for a while, comes in, brings some experience, has bounced around, to a few different programs. His stop at Samford, he was a good offensive player there. So you had the injury to Mr. Chapman, which was very unfortunate. And now you try to plug that hole here with Quez Glover.
I want CB to throw the headset on, my Mad About Hoops partner in crime, because nobody loves a little mid-major flavor like our guy CB.
Yeah. He gets freaky with it.
He scours the nation, and if you hear a program like Samford, the Samford Bulldogs, he can tell you what state, what city they're in. I already told you what their mascot is, if they've got NCAA tournament appearances, who their coaching staff is. But he had 2 good years there. That's a team that we respect, right? Some Samford, we like them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone knows them and Bucky McMillan with what they did this year in the tournament. But when it came to 2 years ago, they were also still a very good team, and unfortunately did not make the tournament off of a deep half-court buzzer beater by Furman, who ended up upsetting Virginia in that tournament. So they've been good for a couple of years down there, and he was a very key part to that team, obviously. It's just great guard depth. I think they really needed that, but to be able to do that and then possibly get another forward, maybe a center from overseas, that'd be great.
Yeah, we've heard them talk about that for a while now, that one of those other roster spots was going to be an international type of big man.
Okay.
But when you talk about the guard depth, think about it, Maddie. They had 3 guards when you subtracted Taysom Chapman from the mix there with his season-ending injury.
Yeah.
You had Michi, you had Bruce, who are two great ones, right? But after that, you have a true freshman in Junie Mobley. So you essentially had to go out and get a guy like this. So wild roadmap again, like Florida 2 years, Samford 2 years, goes to BYU, doesn't wind up staying there, goes to K-State, and then is out all season. Yeah. And now it's the 24-25 year. I think he started in 2019-20.
Quite the journey. Woo! Live it up, baby. Yeah. Live it up. Hey, want to give a quick shout out to a former Buckeye in the NFL. Shout out to Taylor Decker.
Just one of the great players we have at the next level right now.
Taylor Decker has been doing the damn thing for years now in the NFL, one of the most key positions in the league. Taylor Decker, we found out he got himself a 3-year, $60 million extension that includes 31.8 of that guaranteed. He was drafted back in 2016
by them.
Yep. 16th overall in the first round. And you talk about having to grind through some years that weren't very sexy. They stuck with this guy, and he's been protecting their quarterbacks for almost a decade now at a high level. And he is a key piece of a team that should be really, really good this season. So it's great to see the brand of Ohio State go into the NFL, and do things for a very long time, because we know football is a brutal sport, and especially when you're one of those big men down in the trenches, snap in and snap out. So a great deal for Taylor Decker. He's earned himself a lot of money in the NFL, and rightfully so, because he's been one of the best left tackles in the NFC for some years now.
You know, he is just that quintessential guy that does the job and does the job well. Yeah. And you look at his profile, and you won't see a single speck of an NFL award, right? A Pro Bowl or an All-Pro team. But yet these guys keep paying him massive amounts of money. He already got the $70 million extension back in 2020. Yeah. He gets a $60 million extension. He's awesome, man. I mean, he is a bona fide top 10 Buckeye in the NFL.
No question.
Absolutely is. He's up there with the best that Ohio State can boast in that league right now. And more power to him. Maybe the big thing that people would know him for is the ineligible man play, right? Yeah. In the postseason. Yeah. Was that in the postseason, or was that on?
I can't remember.
Was that on one of the holiday games? Was that a Thanksgiving Day game for Detroit? Everybody knows the play.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't remember
when that was. But
the when and where.
Decker is just a tough-nosed player, and he is very, very solid.
Congrats to him, man. Congrats to him on that new deal. That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour. You know, Tim Hall, he and his kid, Jack. I love Jack. Shout out to Jack. You guys are into cards. And you've cooked up a very creative deep dive for us today on the other side that could be involved with the card realm. Trading cards.
You collectors, get ready. NFL fans and collectors alike. This will work for kill two birds with one stone.
Timmy's got a fun idea coming at us next in the deep dive. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Okay, so that's the final price. Oh, an extra fee to drive here. Is that it? A knock on the door fee. So is that the final price? A 15% Wednesday surcharge. What for? Oh, because it's Wednesday. Of course. Can I get back to you on this?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows.
This quote you gave me, are there any other charges I don't know about?
Other charges?
Like an it's too sunny fee or my dog wet the carpet tax.
No, Apex always gives you upfront pricing.
No surprise fees?
Never.
No charge if your stomach hurts or you lost your library card?
Upfront pricing every time at Apex Pros, whether it's plumbing, heating, and AC, or our new electrical services.
I'll call you right back. Hello, other company? Hi, me again.
It's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. You'll never get a surprise charge with the Apex Pros upfront price guarantee. Schedule an appointment now at apexpros.com.
Hey, have you heard about Tim Hortons' new happy hour? Get 50% off summer menu drinks after 2 p.m., Monday to Thursday.
50% off?
Yeah. Try the new Cocoa Caramel Crunch Iced Cap, Butter Pecan Cold Brew, Mango Frozen Lemonade, Solar Splash Tim's Boost, and Berry Cherry Refresher.
There are so many options. That's really good.
Discover a new favorite with Tim's Summer Menu and enjoy 50% off during happy hour. Only at Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Terms apply.
Don't settle for ordinary this summer when adventure awaits. Make memories that will last forever only at your Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Central Ohio's family destination for fun. Plan your perfect summer trip at columbuszoo.org.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year, so let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it, like hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Temps are heating up, and so are the ticket deals this summer with Vivid Seats. Whether it's scoring tickets for a night out at the ballpark or witnessing the rising stars of women's basketball, Vivid Seats has you covered. With a robust rewards program and wide selection of tickets, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you the peace of mind for the ultimate fan experience. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Timmy Hall, literally forgetting that I'm on the update desk here at 2 o'clock. We were talking some Team USA basketball last hour. They got things started with a 110-84 win over Serbia. And now head coach Steve Kerr, he's saying he will play All-NBA and All-Star player Jason Tatum in their upcoming game on Wednesday when they take on South Sudan. Yeah, he did not enter into that game against Serbia. The Columbus Blue Jackets, they got some work done over the weekend. They came to terms with winger Kirill Marchenko, 3 years and $11.55 million. He had 42 points with 23 goals last season. He was the Jackets' second-round pick back in 2018. Major League Baseball coming your way. The Reds are hosting the Cubs at 7:10. And Tyvus wears the hat every day. The Guards are on the road at the Tigers at 6:40. Tanner Bybee on the Hill. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice, CB's back in the building after his well-deserved vacation. Timmy Hall's in for AR today, hosting with me.
I appreciate it, man. I just want to point out, you can't be a professional all the time, and I did space out and forget that I was on the update desk. And I even think that CB said in my ear about 30 seconds before that I was doing it, and that went in one ear and out the other. And then that music started playing. It was like, oh, shoot, just say something. So did I miss a sponsor tag? Who was it? I'll shout him out right now.
It was BMI.
Oh, BMI. I'm going to have to look the thing up because BMI has a lot of things that they like to say about it. But I know you can go to bmifcu.org for details. Probably get you that $200 cashback bonus.
Look at it. You got it. You got it off the top of the dome.
Look at him searching. So what is it? What is it with our boys
I
at
do
BMI?
have the number for you. I'm looking it up.
Oh, come on.
We'll pay off on that.
Come on,
We'll
CB.
pay off on that. Hey, and your update real quick for Guardian fans. You mentioned Bybee on the bump,
Tanner Bybee.
who was supposed to be on the bump for the Detroit Tigers is Jack Flaherty. He will no longer be pitching against the
Trade
Cleveland
block.
Guardians tonight because that is all the evidence we need that the Tigers are about to trade Jack Flaherty, and maybe he's going into the other clubhouse. We'll see. That was one of those rumors that was out there. Are we doing BMI now? Are we knocking this out now?
Yeah, we absolutely can. That lovely Sports Center by Timmy Hall. It's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus at BMI Federal Credit Union when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free.
That's what I said. Isn't it? I basically said that.
You summarized it.
Now
they got two. Yeah,
you got most of that.
It's
but
just
CB,
it's all in there. It's all in there.
CB's like the cleanup hitter right there. You got on base and he brought you home.
He had
That's
to go
exactly
for
what he did.
perfection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
He's
no
a
doubt.
perfectionist over there. So yeah, we got the Olympics rolling right now. We got handball going on right now.
Now handball.
What are we doing with handball? We're like full court handball?
handball is unbelievable. I've actually been in contact just on social media today. One of our guys from Ohio State's handball club. They were so generous back when Tracksuit Fridays were buzzing, and me and Common Man were going back and forth wearing tracksuits every Friday to end the week, right?
Love a good tracksuit.
They sent in some beautiful red and black handball tracksuits, so he was wondering, if he could get a spot on the Buckeye show one of these nights to have him on and talk about the sport and what's fun about it. Because it's a fast game. It's a great-looking game, isn't it?
I did not know that we were going full court in handball because the court looks really big. Like that, your conditioning's got to be up there. Like I thought this was a half court type of deal, but I was obviously wrong in that. So what we got? Is that France and Norway? Who else is up there?
Yeah, that's France and Norway.
Norway?
That's a good call. Yeah, you recognize the flag there. And this is about a NBA-sized basketball surface.
Pretty legit.
So you're up and down the basketball court right here with handball. And again, like you've got these big, fast, athletic dudes that, what would you say that ball? It's smaller than a dodgeball for people that have played rec dodgeball.
Yeah.
That's fun. And you are just chucking it at this goal. It looks like it's 5-on-5 with a goalie.
I absolutely love taking people's heads off.
6-on-6, I think.
I love taking people's heads off in dodgeball.
Oh my God! Right?
I absolutely
face allowed.
Yeah, that's all I'm aiming for is the dome.
Sucks when you play in that league where a headshot is you're out. Right? Why am I out?
Did you guys ever play pinball growing up? Which is like a remix to dodgeball, to where there are pins on the baseline of the floor.
We might have had a different name for it.
Pinball.
But that's a fun, or a cone or a pin or something. You have to knock it down.
Fire the same dodgeballs through and knock the pins
But you
over.
couldn't cross the free throw line,
Could
right?
not cross half court.
Oh, half
court for us.
Wow.
And so same kind of rules apply. If you throw a dodgeball, somebody catches it, you're out. But it's not like, hey, I'm just trying to take your face off and then you're out of the game. This is all about the pin. So I think that was a remix for gym teachers to take away, the joy that I had with trying to knock people's teeth out. Instead, you got to knock the pin over. But it was fun.
I'm so fascinated by all the different gym games, like PE games that probably take place all across the country that have their different variations that have slight nuances to them. But man, they're so much fun, right? There's nothing like a great PE game.
I agree.
What about like netball? Have you seen videos on that game? It's kind of like it almost looks like basketball, but instead of a backboard on the hoops, there's no backboard. And I don't fully understand the rules, but I've seen videos where you really can't defend the shot once they get close to the rim. Like you just have to let them shoot it.
I haven't heard of this.
So it's a basketball hoop with no backboard?
Correct.
So there's a pole that's just holding up a standard size basketball hoop?
It looks like one of these, it's hard to describe over the air, but it's one of these structures that holds up a cylinder like you would for a basketball hoop. It's not like a pole on the ground. It's kind of like two different...
Like a base?
Yeah, two different base or poles and a base that holds it up.
Weird.
Okay. No, I have not heard. Is this? So you're saying this is happening at the Olympics?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's
that's
more.
not an Olympic
I think it's
game.
more popular in like Australia.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me hit you with a real quick. Let me hit you with a medal count since we're talking about the Olympics. A little updated leaderboard. You got France leader in the clubhouse right now. So they have 4 gold medals. So you got, honestly, it's France and United States tied in total medals at 14, but France has 4 golds, 7 silvers, and 3 bronze. We have 3 golds, 7 silvers, and 4 bronze. And then coming in third is Japan right now with 11 total medals, 5 golds, 2 silvers, and 4 bronze medals. So we're right there where we need to be. Right there where we need to be early on in the process.
Yep, we want to win that medal count.
No doubt
for
about
sure.
it. So you ran an idea by me earlier today, and you were telling me how you and your son, you guys are into the card world, and specifically, this sports card world, because I know when you bring up cards, this can go down a lot of different rabbit holes. But for what we do every day, and for a lot of people listening here to us as sports fans, you came up with this idea of, if we were going to go into the card world, who would be some guys specifically in the NFL that we would want to invest in right now that may hit us with a nice payday down the road? By the way, where you at with the payday, Candy Bar? Where you at on that?
Payday's solid.
Okay.
I like a salted nut roll, the red wrapper. It's a lesser known candy bar, but you've seen me have those here. I usually would buy them on Amazon or something.
I don't know if I've had one of these.
I'll bring some.
Okay.
I'll bring
I'm
some.
interested in that. So sorry, I got us off track there, but
no, because that one's better because it's got a cream filling instead of just the peanut butter.
Just the peanut butter?
Yeah.
I probably would enjoy that a little bit more.
It's very, very good.
But yeah, talk us through this, Tim Hall.
Yeah, so what I was thinking about, my son, he's just gotten infatuated with this, and he's always been a big football fan, so now he's sort of latched on to the football cards, because this was something that for a lot of people goes back to the pandemic when we're sitting in our house, and once you're done with work for the day, we were doing our actual shows from our basements. Everybody except poor CB and our producers had to come into the building here to, flip the switches on. But once, you've done your show, you've prepped your show, and, before or after work, whatever, you're looking to kill an extra half hour or so you dust off those old boxes. And a lot of them were the baseball cards from when we were kids, where they call that the old wax card era, where they just printed, Upper Deck, Fleer, Donruss, and there were just thousands and thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands, low millions of cards that were printed. They're just all over the place. They're not really worth much unless it's got some sentimental value to you, or maybe you have one of a rookie card of somebody that holds some value, like a Cal Ripken Jr. rookie card, or going back to guys before them. But we got into it that way. And since he's such a big football fan, now he's really just after the sexy sport. He's just after NFL cards. And the market's hot for him, right? And I think it starts with Joey B, right? With Joe Burrow. And for a Cincinnati Bengal fan like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, those are hot guys, hot cards. If you want any kind of rookie, patch, or auto of those two, you better bring your checkbook.
Does Jack want to bleach his hair blonde like Joey B?
No.
Has he come to you with that yet?
He's not, No, he's not there. We both didn't know what the hell was going on when Joey B popped up that way. But I'm sure if Panini's going to print a new card with him sporting that look, maybe strolling through training camp with a Bengal jersey but showing off the haircut, that could have some high value mark to it. But you're now looking for individual players, because you could either buy packs or boxes and then do the fun thing where you don't know what you're going to get, but you could get a bust and not earn your money back from what you paid for the pack, or you could try to buy opened cards, individual cards that people have and they display on eBay or whatever. And so I'm thinking of some names, and I actually, I run this by him, so I'll let you know what he's thinking for buy low cards from a kid now he just went up to the Cleveland Nationals and just wheeled and dealed. And he came home with a lot of good stuff. He had some cards that he traded. He came back with a graded CJ Stroud rookie card, which is hard to get, because those are now, after just 1 year, they're expensive. Like, you find something that's semi-nice, and he's a Garrett Wilson guy. I know Garrett Wilson, when I say buy low, it's not going to be that low because word's already out on him, but we believe that Garrett Wilson is only going to continue to grow. And you might have this one good year with Aaron Rodgers, and then they're going to have some quarterback turnover. So we're going to see. Garrett Wilson will be one that I would sign off for, too. But another one that he likes that's really on the lower end, new quarterback coming to town, is Drake London. I think Drake London value right now very low, and it's something there where you have that sexy position of being a receiver. It could instantly go up. So that's one that I like.
I like both of those. I think there's a little fear when it comes to those two guys of what does 2026 to 2030 look like. Not because of their play. They're good players. But you know how funky it gets when you don't have a good quarterback.
I also think the card's not out yet, but I think Michael Penix Jr. is a good one to get in on for the rookie cards. Those cards have not appeared yet.
Attach yourself with London and Penix together. I'm not mad at that, because I do think that both those guys are going to ball out. Garrett Wilson, I think, is going to be a stud this year with Aaron Rodgers and Drake London. The people I said to you earlier, like, I think maybe Drake London or Terry McLaurin, two of these guys, they could be this year's Nico Collins. Because remember,
him too.
Before last year, Nico Collins was he was fine. He was fine. Now he's looked at as one of the elites because of the quarterback.
His size,
your guys in Washington, if Jaden Daniels is what they think he's going to be, Terry McLaurin's already showed us over the last couple of years, I can be a 1,000-yard guy no matter who is the quarterback.
I love Terry McLaurin. You can get on eBay right now and find yourself a really good-looking Terry McLaurin auto card, and his autograph is pretty, too. It's one of those where you can make out the T and the M. It looks good there. Some people like the fact speaking to an Ohio State crowd, some people like the fact that you can get cards where they're wearing the Ohio State uniform. There's rookie cards that you can purchase of his that have his Ohio State gear on, which is a cool touch. Or if you want him wearing the Commanders gear, but you can get several for under $35 or $40 right now. And I agree, like with Jaden Daniels coming to town, there's a Buckeye there. His value can skyrocket. Some other guys that I like, I think I haven't loved him as a quarterback, but Kyler Murray with Marvin Harrison is more of a buy low quarterback. Justin Fields is a buy low quarterback, again, for the Buckeye flair. Quentin Johnston for the Chargers with Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh coming to town. Dontavian Wicks for Green Bay, wide receiver that could pop off with Jordan Love being in the mix. They're kind of too late on the Jordan Love deal. His rookie cards
it's been
were
the
going
summer
for a lot.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, his value's up there pretty high now.
I love that idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah, just some names to think about. Think about the guys that you believe in and put your fantasy football prospectus into this too. Think about your guys that are ready to hit that gas pedal, the true buy low guys.
I'll hit you with, and it's my guy, Zay Flowers. After what he showed as a rookie, he'll be attached to Lamar for a while. Lamar's 27 years old. Those guys can grow together. Another one, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because with
jury's out on him.
Yeah, you get that card now. But Zay Flowers may be one that's kind of more in the weeds right now than Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's good stuff for sure. Coming up in Pre-Snap Reads, one of the best receivers in the sport has some praise for Denzel Ward. We'll let you hear it after this. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Three dudes who'll make you feel like the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, we hornswoggled you good.
Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. For years, like me, you've heard their name on the radio. You've seen their ads on TV. You've seen their trucks driving around in your neighborhood. Or you've been greeted with a smiling face at a local community event. Newman Roofing. That's right. They've built their reputation on honesty and professionalism within the Central Ohio community. As a company, Newman Roofing believes in giving back to the community who has supported them over the last 32 years. It's essential to developing those long-lasting relationships with their families. Tim is a small-town guy with small-town values, and when I met and talked with him and his team, you could tell how much they love the community they serve. And you can hear those stories and hundreds of 5-star reviews to how many people trust Newman Roofing with their project and how they meet their expectations. So when it comes to your roofing needs, call Newman Roofing to receive unparalleled customer experience. So give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or NewmanRoofing.com. That's NewmanRoofing.com.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $229 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our best value guarantee and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit, 2024 Sentra SR FWD 24-month lease with $3,000 due at signing and $731.24.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. I was in my Lexus the other day. It was hot as hell, but I was so thankful for my ventilated seats. I'm not saying that's why you should buy one. It's just very nice. Right now at Jermaine Lexus, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with lease payments as low as $499 a month and 3.99% financing on select models. Get this, the RZ is 0%. I have been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. Thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we're going to be tracking a few showers out there with a high of 85. Showers tonight, low 70. And then showers on Tuesday morning, turning sunny by Tuesday afternoon with a high of 87. Heat indices will be approaching 100 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, folks, let me tell you that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary, and you can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Paul Skeens, you guys know the name by now. Call him the Ski Nom. He's taking on the Houston Astros tonight. Houston Astros, and I'm looking at his strikeout, 7.5. The juice on the over is plus 115. Not an easy matchup. Not an easy matchup at all. But this dude is just an absolute X-Men mutant with what he can do out there on the bump. So give me the over. For Paul Skeens' case tonight, again, 7.5. The juice on it is plus 115. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, let's get into some Browns talk here because CB's guy and a lot of people's guy, Denzel Ward, the former Buckeye himself, he's getting some praise. He's getting some praise from one of the best receivers in the sport. CeeDee Lamb, by the way, still holding out for his contract down in Dallas, and he's not going to show up to practices at all because the loophole with CeeDee Lamb and his holdout is he's still on the rookie deal. So the team, when he does return, they can decide to wipe out the fine. So that's the little loophole with holdouts.
Exactly.
Right? You see some of these guys that aren't on their rookie deal anymore, they got to deal with those big-time fines. He still has to deal with them now, but they have the ability to, when they get the deal done inevitably, wipe out the fine. So just wanted to bring that up with CeeDee Lamb since he's on that rookie deal. But CeeDee was on the Edge podcast, and it looks like he had some nice things to say about Denzel Ward.
Who's your top 5 DBs?
Sauce. I love playing against Pat Surtain. He's tough. Both of them, they're identical because they're young, they're very energetic, they're smart, and they're tall. You know what I'm saying? They know how to use their length. I don't really see man-to-man outside much. You got Jalen Ramsey, of course, X. I've said that plenty of times. And Denzel Ward, he's a sleeper. Bro's nice. His technique is crazy. I watch a lot of film, you know what I'm saying? I watch on potential guys that's going to guard me. I watch.
Yeah, I mean, we play the Browns next year.
Exactly. And I watch how you move. I watch how he does everything right, bro. He ain't going to hold you. He going to mirror you. At the receiver position, that's the best technique.
And he tackles.
And he's coming up to make a play. You're going to feel him.
You always hear from athletes, Tim, that the respect that they really look for are from their peers. And if you're Denzel Ward, to hear that, not just from any receiver in the league, CeeDee Lamb's in that class with Jefferson and Chase and you can debate, you can split hairs to who you think is better, but to me, he's in that class.
That top 5 guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So to hear that's got to make Denzel Ward feel good. And he's earned it. Even without hearing that from CeeDee Lamb, we've seen with our own eyes since the dude was here, since Gus Johnson made the barbecue call, and even after that,
oh, man,
how good of a player Denzel Ward is. You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me? Hurt my feelings.
One of the great ones right there.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
To a T, Matty Ice. Ha ha! College basketball. Denzel, look, he's the 4th overall pick back in the 2018 draft, and we've had a lot of cornerbacks come out of Ohio State. High draft picks, right? Not all of them have officially walked that walk at the next level. Denzel Ward is one of them.
No doubt.
Maybe done it better than all the rest. Marshawn Lattimore has had a solid career with the New Orleans Saints as well, but I think Denzel has been a little bit better and a little bit more consistent. 3-time Pro Bowler. High praise like that from a player as good as CeeDee Lamb, guys that you don't want to go up against. And corner is one of those positions, too. It's just so vital. It is a crucial position with the passing attack that is this league now. Interceptions are hard to come by, harder than ever now. I mean, for a quarterback to lock down a good season, you got to be in single-digit interceptions. You know, that's just the way it is. You just don't turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over anymore. So to find these lockdown corners that can really get it done and just steer you to the other side of the formation, it's very, very valuable.
And it's part of the reason why, because you're so right in saying that, it's part of the reason why this Browns defense can be so scary. It's just because when you combine how elite Denzel is out there on the island with how special Myles Garrett is up front,
absolutely,
being a defensive player of the year, and just how that can work hand in hand together, right? With Myles, his ability to really heat quarterbacks up very quickly. And then you get the sticky coverage from Denzel and quarterbacks not having a lot of confidence to throw Denzel's way. And then not even to mention, to zooming out from the 2 superstars that we're talking about, I like the corner room as a whole. And I know Greg Newsome right now is dealing with a hamstring injury, so that's going to be very interesting to see his availability as we get closer and closer to the regular season. But when those 3 guys are right, when you're talking Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Martin Emerson, that's elite right there with what those guys can do. And we saw Jim Schwartz come in last year as a defensive coordinator and put those guys into really good positions. And I know they want to correct the wrong of that playoff game and maybe some of those games on the road. But Denzel Ward has been an absolute dude since he's come into the league, and I don't expect that to slow down at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be that Browns defense, right? It's, not knowing, talking about DeShaun Watson earlier in the program and what his expectations were when you made the signing. I don't know if you could have ever lived up to those expectations when you throw that kind of money at a quarterback that was coming back from where he was. But you can always rely on a star-studded defense.
Yep.
And like you saw him last year when they didn't even have DeShaun. You were just going with a guy that had been out of the league, your old Raven buddy, Joe Flacco.
Shout out to Joe.
Flacco, my Cracko, and he was just doing his thing last year.
Yeah, he was.
It was unbelievable, but they had to have a great defense to be able to do it that way. Also, just on the subject of other Buckeye cornerbacks, Garyon Conley deciding to just retire. Did you see that?
He got cut by who?
Yeah, it was getting waived by he was trying to hang on with the Dallas Cowboys.
I got you.
And a lot of that kind of very similar to how Malik Hooker's career had gone, where he was so good here at Ohio State. And the ball hawking safety that he was, that one season he put up here was as fun to watch from an individual player standpoint.
It's my favorite.
As fun to watch as any season that I've ever seen a Buckeye throw down
It's
here.
my favorite defensive year for any Buckeye that I've watched.
Absolutely.
For me, personally.
And it even rivaled some of the big-time offensive seasons
you
that we've
just
seen
knew
players put up.
Every Saturday, he was going to make an impactful play.
Yeah, maybe just take one to the house.
Every
maybe
week.
pick one off and run it back.
Yeah, he could go. And I think that's a great point that you brought up because we talked earlier about the journey for like Baker Mayfield. It's been quite the journey for Malik Hooker, too, and he found a home.
And he found a home, and he's got a nice contract with Dallas.
Yeah.
And so there was some hope in talking to Tyvis, good buddies with Garyon Conley, and hopeful that, he had an unfortunate issue that, hurt his draft status a little bit, but still got taken in the first round. Then he comes back, battles through injuries. You think he's going to make it here, but Dallas decides to go in another direction. He puts a post out that he's going to hang him up and move to some other things.
Ton of respect, man. No matter how it goes rest of the way, you go from where you were as a kid to where you were in college, and you had some experience in the NFL. It's a heck of a career, no matter how you look at it. Hopefully, whatever's next for him will treat him well. Those are today's pre-snap reads. We're going to continue Browns talk coming up next. Jeff Lloyd, host of Locked On Browns, covers the team very, very well. We'll talk to him about some of these early injuries that are going on. DeShaun Watson, Nick Chubb, a lot to unpack with the Brownies after the break. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Find great prices on summer favorites at Meijer. Get pork loin baby back ribs for $2.99 per pound. Meijer chips 3 for $5. And 2 pounds of fresh strawberries for $3.99. Plus, mix or match hundreds of items and pay just $1 each when you pick any 7 or more during the 7 for $7 sale. Get Eckrich hot dogs, Meijer ketchup, and select Coca-Cola products, plus deposit where applicable. Shop low prices and great deals all week long at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Hi, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Need a perfect gift? Check out the new line of Glock watches and other stunning jewelry at Worthington Jewelers. Make every occasion sparkle with Worthington Jewelers, where exceptional gifts await.
Had a devastating knee injury, tore my ACL, tore my PCL, shredded my medial meniscus, and had an initial surgery. That really didn't hold. Had another follow-up surgery around 8 years later. That didn't work, and I didn't want to undergo another surgical procedure.
Enough with the surgeries. They didn't ease the pain, and recovery was brutal. Carmen heard about another treatment for pain relief, the non-invasive regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
I simply figured, heck, I'm going to pick up the phone and call QC Kinetics, and since I've been treated, my quality of life has dramatically gotten better, and I can't thank QC Kinetics enough.
These are the nation's leaders in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics uses the body's own healing components to help provide relief and functionality.
10 months ago, I had difficulty walking up and down a flight of steps. Now I can do just about anything I desire. I'm back to the old me.
If you have joint pain, before you consider surgery, call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Ah, the sounds of back to school time. There's plenty to about this time of year, so let Cane's take something off your plate by putting something on it, like hand-battered chicken fingers and cane sauce.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
Quite a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box, biatch.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Cash, moolah, greenbacks, toast, Skrilla, chips, bread and mold, cheddar, butter, lewd and scratch. Find the lettuce, make a match. Lettuce, gravy, game on the back for $30. That's a wrap. There's many words for cash, no doubt, but there's only one $30 cash word. Check it out. Cash word from Ohio, lottery. It's $30, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions of prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
It's time that we face the facts when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation. It exists to save and heal lives. It's a way to look out for one another, to continue a legacy and give the gift of a fuller future, the gift of life.
But what about the barriers around organ donation?
Cost, age, religion, race, or health status are not factors that can get in the way. All it really takes is one epic yes. Register today to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor at donatelifeohio.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Welcome to Reverse Aesthetics. Our medical weight loss program includes popular medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, both of which are supercharged by our body sculpting treatments. For only $2.99 per month, under the supervision of our board-certified medical doctor, Reverse Aesthetics can help you achieve your weight loss goals while tracking progress quarterly. We have plenty of inventory and can begin treatment within 48 hours of your consult. Schedule now at reverse-aesthetics.com or call us at 614-656-4000.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Thoughtfully discussing the merits of home run ins frozen pizza. This is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, Timmy Hall filling in for AR today. Going to use the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now to bring on Jeff Lloyd, host of Locked On Browns, Great Browns podcast. If you're a Browns fan and you're not tapped into this podcast, you are missing out. Jeff, how you doing, man? How's the summer been treating you?
You kind of get to that July 4th window, and, for folks like us, you realize that maybe that's kind of almost the end of summer, and, 10 days, 14 days later, camp's open, and it's basically just ramping things up, getting back to business.
No doubt, man. Time to roll. The season will be here before we know it. Looking forward to Cowboys and Brownies in week number 1. Let's start with some unfortunate news. We were talking about Denzel Ward, reacting to him, Jeff, CeeDee Lamb having Denzel Ward in his top 5 corners in the league, but that cornerback room took a bit of a hit right out of the gate. What do you understand about Greg Newsome's injury and the severity of this?
If you go back to, OTAs and mini camps, you knew there was a little bit where Greg Newsome wasn't participating a little bit. Hamstrings, it's always one of the scariest ones to hear about because, you can come back, and we kind of saw a little bit last year with Juan Thornhill with the calf. He came back, but, wasn't necessarily 100%. You're good to go, but you're maybe not all of what you truly are. And then when you hear maybe a surgery involved with the hamstring, it is difficult because, the Browns obviously a team with their top 11 players, which Greg Newsome is one of those guys as far as the defense is concerned. They're a team that wants to get to nickel and dime as basically as fast as they can. So, losing Greg and, you're not going to say yay or nay about week 1. And if you're Coach Stefanski, you say, of course, you think there's a possibility he's going back year 1. You're not going to tip your hand to anybody this early in the season. But the Browns have great depth at the cornerback position. So, it does hurt. And, you think, and there's always people sometimes that get upset with Denzel Ward and maybe his availability at times. But you still have Martin Emerson. And, and for the Browns, they'll still have Denzel Ward as of right now. Cameron Mitchell looked good last year at times at the nickel. They draft corners every year. They have a couple of guys who are special teamers that are going to battle out to get one of those 5th or 6th spots. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Miles Harden, the rookie this year, at camp. An opportunity now is there for him to maybe show his wear. He's going to probably get a lot of reps in the preseason games. So it's a blow. I don't know if it's as tough a blow as maybe the Dalvin Tomlinson injury right now and the surgery there. But, you want all your guys and you want them all. But, we got a long way to go before September 8th.
Jeff, tell me about the quarterback position, and what is your hunch that this is the season that DeShaun Watson could stay healthy and finally get it figured out?
See, I don't know where most people are at. I was more than fine with the way DeShaun Watson was playing last year. I thought I was pretty encouraged. Like week 1, everybody made all the excuses. Joe Burrow didn't play that great because of the weather. But meanwhile, DeShaun Watson did play pretty well. They both played in the same stadium in the same weather. I thought he was, progressing, and to only play, 12 games in 3 NFL seasons, it's difficult. There's just no way around it. And year 1, there were different parts, and he came back at the end of the year, so there were new parts he was learning. Year 2, last year, he gets here. There's some new moving pieces. Now this year, there's a new offensive coordinator. They're trying to put some new things into the offense, phase out some things that maybe never really truly suited DeShaun. So it always seems every year, every camp he gets here, he gets ramped up and ready to go, and there's just newness to it. I think the health factor, I think maybe they just kind of got to squash some of the designed runs. He took a big hit on that same shoulder that he ended up missing the season with last year that led to the surgery. He took a big hit in week 1 against Cincinnati. So who doesn't know if maybe the ailment kind of started there and maybe progressed to getting worse. But if maybe they take a little bit more of the designed runs out of the playbook for DeShaun, just let the guy play quarterback. We all know he can scramble when he needs to, but the designed runs maybe need to go.
Jeff Lloyd, host of Locked On Browns, joining us here on the Fan via the Brian Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Jeff, let's get your thoughts on Jerry Jeudy, and they committed a decent amount of money to him right out of the gate. We know Cooper and Njoku, those guys can be absolute beasts any given week. But now with Jerry Jeudy in the mix, do you think a change of scenery is going to bring out the best now in Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, this was one like I had talked about actually probably for 2 off seasons up to this point. You always, you look at players who were former first-round picks and maybe hadn't met expectations. And, and look, the Browns have loved to do this, whether it was Amari Cooper or some other guys. If I can get in on somebody dirt floor cheap, I would love to. They tried to make it work at the deadline. They didn't get it that way. They certainly got it this year in the offseason. And, a lot of people trying to attribute, Jerry Jeudy's, weaknesses and lack of success. But, Cortland Sutton, he's supposed to be a great receiver. His numbers weren't that great either. Whatever anybody wants to say about Russell Wilson, whatever, they tried to say he played better last year, but he's Russell Wilson. The standard is to play like prime Russell Wilson. So it's not like anybody on Denver was really playing up to par. And, with the Browns, they certainly showed a lot of faith in what they think of Jerry Jeudy. He was here 10 days before they gave him a nice big extension. So I think they were comfortable with what they had seen to that point and felt that probably between DeShaun Watson and certainly now Ken Dorsey and certainly Kevin Stefanski, they can hopefully get into that next level. So they either got, in their opinion, a high-end number 2 or a guy who can eventually be their next number 1.
Jeff, something that has always been kind of fun for me to track is where teams have always chosen to have their training camps. I can remember going to the Greenbrier because it was in between here and Virginia, and I met my dad, and it was when the Saints were doing training camp out there. But just from players that you have talked to in the past, do you know if they care, like what they prefer, if they want to get out? I would assume they like to stay closer to the facility, but teams have done this, and the pandemic kind of washed it away and more went back to where the team's facilities were. But what do you think about the locations and teams choose for their camps?
Well, I think part of this might also kind of be, like a little superstition. We had a good year last year. Why not just go back to the same place? Maybe there's a little magic there.
Yeah.
The other one is you have guys who are, either located 100% of their time in Cleveland, or, everybody, we're in town when we need to be. We disperse to where, where our families are, where we're from. So, everybody's starting to move back and set up shop back in the Cleveland area. But you also want to, get a little bonding time. And, you guys want just, the teammates to get with each other. You always have a roster turnover of anywhere from 10 to 15 guys each given season. So you want, basically the old guys to maybe get a little bit, established with the new guys. Because if you're doing it at home, you have a lot of guys who are older. Joel Bitonio example. Well, I'm going to go home. I'm going to have dinner with my family. So you're trying to get that kind of, the old school, whether it was high school, whether it was college, the actual camp feel to it. And so, if it works, you do it. If it doesn't, you don't. But I think a lot of it had to do that it worked out to be a very successful year for this team last year. So it was kind of the old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Jeff, did you like what they did with the Amari Cooper situation? He wanted a new deal. Looks like they guaranteed some more money for him. Was that the right move, or did you want to see maybe some more years attached to that thing?
Well, look, this was a tough spot for Amari Cooper to be in because the Browns don't normally lose situations like this. They will find a way, and you have a very willing owner that you can go down and say, hey, it may take some of your cash, but, we can satisfy the player and still stand on our ground, so to speak. And, the wide receiver age of 30, it's just a weird thing in the NFL. And you track it long enough and you go through it long enough, it's usually the sign of when decline starts to show. The Browns, were willing to maybe commit to one more year, but I think once they could satisfy him financially for this year here in 24, it probably made them feel like it was a win-win because they still satisfied Amari. They didn't have to commit to 2025. They will have a boatload of draft picks this year. Something in years past kind of hamstrung them on some things because they couldn't say, oh, well, it's always been a rich wide receiver market, but we don't draft till day 2. We don't draft to the 60s or the 70s in some of these scenarios. Amari, if he goes out and plays like he plays, if the Browns don't want to guarantee 25 and 26, somebody in the NFL will. But the Browns also, since the Amari Cooper trade, have, drafted David Bell. They brought in Elijah Moore. They drafted Cedric Tillman. They have now brought in Jerry Jeudy. They brought in Jamari Threat. So they've redone that entire room, and that's just in the 2+ years since they made the move for Amari Cooper. You've always got to be working. You always got to be looking ahead. I think Amari's happy for this year. I think the Browns are happy with the situation for this year and know it can go either way in 25, 26 going further, but they can go either way with it. You like to have flexibility, so they were able to keep their player happy and keep themselves in a flexible position because, we always know wide receivers are available, or if it comes to it, they can start looking for some guy that they can get under a rookie contract.
Makes sense. He's Jeff Lloyd, host of the Locked On Browns podcast. Jeff, we appreciate your time as always. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, man. Thank you.
You guys as well. We'll talk soon.
Hey, there goes Jeff. Was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Game number 1 on the schedule for CB's Brownies hosting the Dallas Cowboys. That will be must-see TV. We'll hit the finish line of the show next. We'll tell the truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and Tebow.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a summer savings extravaganza at Kemba Financial Credit Union. You pick how you want your money to grow. Choose a limited time 13-month certificate at up to 5.25% annual percentage yield to lock in your savings with a $500 minimum deposit, or enjoy access to your funds anytime with a money market at 4.75% APY intro rate until October 31st with a $5,000 minimum balance and a $1 million maximum. Visit Kemba.org for details. Restrictions apply. Advantage status required. Federally insured by NCUA.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
The Buckeye Show.
What were you guys yelling on the Braxton play? The payback game against
You know what
Virginia
I said?
Tech.
Well, everybody said, he's back. He's back. That's what everybody was saying.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
As a local family-owned and operated company, Newman Roofing takes great pride in providing great customer experience and quality product to every job they do. From the first phone call to the end of your project, they'll know who you are. Don't just get a roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
Ignite your Irish spirit at the Dublin Irish Festival, August 2nd through 4th. Prepare to be blown away as you explore one of the top Irish festivals in the US, drawing over 100,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Enjoy 7 music stages, 60 acts and more than 800 performers, epic Irish entertainment, great food and more. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Hey, it's Anthony for the Good Feet store. 3 words for me: pain-free summer. Spent probably 30 hours walking around the Memorial Tournament and felt awesome with my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store in my everyday kicks. Sure, every now and then we all get random foot pain from pickleball or golf or just being a human being. Having my personally fit arch supports in my shoes has made a massive difference. And even right after I put them in, didn't take long to feel much more supported and aligned, and it's so easy to just move them into any pair. Before I had them, I dreaded being on my feet for any length of time. Well, you have nothing to lose but the pain, as they say. It's a free fitting and test walk. Try them for yourself. See the difference it can make. It did for me. And best of all, you can wear them home. 2 locations on Polaris Parkway and Stringtown Road, or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com. The Good Feet Store, America's arch supports experts.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB. This is your first Tell the Truth in a while. What'd you cook up today, big dog?
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot about chicken wings. I'm going to be honest with you. I have 2 different questions. I have one that I made myself and then one that was part of the fan poll today. So let's start with my question because, yes, it is National Chicken Wing Day. I want to talk about the sauces, as Matty Ice likes to say, that goes on the chicken wing. Now, I'm going to make you to choose one sauce, and it can be from one place and specific, or just in general, the sauce flavor. But if I had to make you pick one to eat the rest of your life, and that one only, what is it?
Tim Hall, I am a...
Oh, you're leaving the floor open. Okay, no multiple choice.
I've got a bit of a tie here. Same flavor,
okay,
but from 2 different locations.
Let me hear it.
I need some of those wings doused in sauce, but it's got to be spicy garlic sauce. So this can either be from B-Dubs, or I can put the Roosters concoction together. I think they both do it well. Hot garlic, spicy garlic, whatever you want to call it, that is the wing sauce for me, because then you take a couple of those French fries and you put those in the spicy garlic. Maybe you hit you with the carrots and the celery, you put that in there as well. So spicy garlic.
I have to go so traditional here. Okay? If you're giving me one sauce for the rest of my life, I like everything that you just said. I like garlic parm is a lovely flavor. Any kind of the Korean, like the spicy Korean.
Like an Asian zing?
Yeah, so good. But I'm going to go with your basic hot buffalo wing sauce.
Not mad.
Hot.
I'm in.
Buffalo wing style.
I'm in.
That's got to be what it is.
Handle the truth.
Me personally, it's the hickory barbecue at Wingstop. I think I would get that every single time if I could, or if it was the only one I could get, I would do that every single time.
It's a different kind of mood thing. It's good, like a honey barbecue and all that.
Honorable mention for me is teriyaki. Honorable mention. Every once in a while, I'll get frisky and want some teriyaki wings.
Have you ever done just that lemon pepper at Wingstop? How good is that,
Have
CB?
you ever done them at Magic City?
No.
Do you know what Magic City is?
The bomb?
No. Well, do you know what I'm talking about? The venue that is Magic City?
No.
Okay.
What? No.
Magic City is a gentleman's club in Atlanta. You remember the story?
Okay, that's off the board.
You remember the story when Lou Williams left the NBA bubble in the middle of COVID to go to Magic City just to get the wings? That's where apparently the best lemon pepper wings in the world are at that gentleman's club.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so the next time you're in Hotlanta,
go to Magic City.
Stop by the club, see a gal named Lexus, and have you some delicious lemon pepper wings.
All right, the second question about International Chicken Wing Day is from the fan poll. The question is, which you prefer more, bone-in, boneless, both, or neither?
Bone-in.
Yeah?
Bone-in. And I want both types, too. The flap and the drumstick. Yeah. I want the mixture of both. Mm-hmm. Just the big, huge bone-in wings. Come on.
See, I think Roosters has the best boneless wings in the game. So when I go to Roosters, I go like a 5 and 5. So I'll go 5 traditional. I'm with you. Drums, flats don't matter to me. I know some people are picky about it. I'm not one of those people. But going to Roosters, I like to do the hot garlic with my traditional, and then I like to get barbecue with my boneless, and then run me all the blue cheese and ranch you got. So if you're allowing me to put them together, CB, I will go with both. But if I have to...
Well, that is option 3, is both. Yes.
But if you made me pick between just bone-in and boneless, I would be with Timmy Hall, and I would go bone-in, and they got to be fried hard. Don't bring me any wings that are not crunchy.
Yeah, absolutely. You want a little bit of that crunch on that exterior. You got 57% voting bone-in right now to 24.2% boneless, 15% both. So that's great. Okay, bone-in is a big winner right now.
Yeah.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right. When discussing the mega deals going on for quarterbacks around the league, Patrick Mahomes says he is not underpaid despite being tied for 11th in average annual value at the position at $45 million per year. The question is simply, is he telling the truth?
See, technically he's lying. He's lying. Because we know he should probably be the highest paid player in the league, especially after seeing guys like, Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love really put together a half a year and a nice little postseason run and become the highest paid guys in the sport at $55 million. He should be a $60 million a year guy. But I think, Tim, what's going on here is his mentality, I think, is a little different because of everything he probably makes elsewhere outside of the NFL. Isn't he like part owner of the Kansas City Royals? Doesn't he have that going on?
And I think he has a connection to some of the Whataburger locations that came out to Kansas City, too.
So now that really does it for you, CB.
So I think when you have Whataburger, you got a percentage of a Major League Baseball team. The other endorsement deals, I'm sure, are through the roof. He's probably making.
Doesn't he have a stake in a Formula One team like Alpine as well?
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me at all. So I think you close the gap on a lot of those guys that we know you're better than outside of football money. So he's not telling the truth about his own NFL money, but I think he's chilling because he's like, you know what? At the end of the year, I'm probably making, I don't know, $60, $70 million anyway.
Oh, man. Yeah, him and his wife have invested in the National Women's Soccer League, Kansas City team. This line from him, too, he said about Jordan Love, it's awesome for the game of football. It's awesome for the quarterback position, but I think all positions, I know every time a contract comes up, everyone will look at my average per year, but I'm doing pretty well for myself. For me, it's about going out there and trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family at the end of the day.
There you go.
I feel like I'm doing a great job of that. Do you think you've made any money for your family, really, Patrick? I think one of those $45 million salaries
you're good
would do you for 4 lifetimes.
He's probably got a garage in his backyard where he can do the scene from Breaking Bad with Bill Burr. You know when Bill Burr just lays on the bed of money? He probably can do that already.
God. That was $80 million, right? That was Walter White's entire empire for which he had to screw his family. He had to become a sick, twisted, evil bastard, right? He had to do all those things for $80 million. Patrick Mahomes plays 2 years of football. He's beaten Walter White.
Yep.
He's got a meth empire. 2 years of slinging a rock around. I'd say he's all right.
All right, final question for you. Would you rather work 80 hours in 1 week and have the next week totally off for 7 days, or work 40 hours for a week spread across 7 days, including the weekends, for 2 weeks?
I don't love either one of these options.
Spread it across.
So one option is you get the normal
day. Yeah.
One option is you get the normal 40-hour week, but you spread it across all 7 days. Option number 2 is you just cram 2 weeks together into 1 week and get the second week off.
Give me the 80.
We're cranking 80s.
Yeah. I don't like either one of these, but I guess give me the 80. I need some downtime.
Crank the 80.
The truth shall set you free.
If you missed anything from our show today, Andy Backstrom, Buckeyes, Brian Hedger, Blue Jackets, Jeff Lloyd, Browns, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews will be waiting for you. Timmy, we appreciate you, my man. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time, big dog.
What a great day.
It's been awesome.
CB's engaged now.
He's in. He bent the knee.
Back from the wild, wild west. He's seen all the beauty and the national parks, and now he's going to be a married man.
Real quick, her name's Sarah. She's a very, very fantastic woman. Love her to death. She's a great fiance. I did want to let you know real quick, you give me the nickname Evil Ball Colin. She enjoys going by evil-haired Sarah. Just to let you know.
Shout out to Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah, we love you around these parts. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. Tyvis Powell filling in for Common Man from 3 to 6. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back tomorrow. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. This is a Fan Action Update.
Big Ten action update. The Oregon Ducks have the second best odds to win the Big Ten this year at 2-1. Oregon has the third best odds to win the national championship at 8-1. And the Ducks season win totals at 10.5 games. Oregon's non-conference schedule includes games against Idaho, Boise State, and Oregon State. And Oregon is minus 280 to make the 12-team college football playoff. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Shop Meijer for all of your back-to-school essentials. Pull out your supply list and check it off as you go because it's all in one stop. Find Crayola 24-count crayons for 50 cents, Meijer 70-sheet notebooks for 45 cents, Elmer's glue for 50 cents, and Meijer 8-count number 2 yellow pencils for 75 cents. Plus, get select backpacks 20% off. You'll get an A+ in savings when you shop back to school in one stop at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Are you or a loved one struggling with addiction? Too many families suffer in silence, watching someone they care about struggle day after day. At Pinnacle Treatment and Recovery Works, we understand the pain and the heartache. More importantly, we know how to help. Our comprehensive addiction treatment programs can help you reclaim your life. Imagine waking up with hope, free from the fear of withdrawal. Help your loved ones, your son, your daughter, or help yourself. Take the step that changes everything. Visit pinnacletreatment.com/Ohio. Your new life starts now.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
At Pella, we use the newest technology to show you exactly how new windows would look on your home.
Well, we keep it simple at our window place. We use a number 2 pencil to draw what your house will look like with our new windows. See?
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like a number 2.
Thank you, Leslie. Wait, I see what you did there.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Are you ready to turn your passion for media into a career? Ohio Media School is the place for you. With hands-on training in radio, television, sports broadcasting, and digital media, you'll gain the skills and experience you need to succeed. Don't wait. Classes are starting soon. Visit beonair.com and take the free assessment to get started. Enroll today and take the first step towards your dream career. Ohio Media School, your future in media starts here. Visit us at beonair.com. Beonair.com. Enroll now.
Is arthritic joint pain keeping you from doing the things that you love? Bone-on-bone pain in your knee, arthritic pain like I was having in my knee, maybe your hip, your back, your shoulder. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that you can get lasting relief from. QC Kinetics is helping patients like you every day here in Columbus, led by Dr. Ray Tesner. I'm talking about cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Listen, my dad was having knee pain. I was having knee pain. So we went over to QC Kinetics, and they were able to help us out. And 2 years out, I'm still feeling good. My dad can still move around. So learn how QC Kinetics can treat pain and enhance your joints and restore your mobility and give you long-term lasting relief with no downtime. So check them out. Go to 380-208-4544 or head to one of their offices in Dublin, Gehanna, or now the new one that's most recently opened